But I did say to Clint that I was going to be picking on you tonight, but I don't see how that's any different than other nights.
It's all good.
You know, weeks like this make us appreciate that we don't worry when we sleep. You just sleep. And sooner or later, Greg, you're going to sleep.
Glad you don't. White flag is out here in this first qualifying heat. 1 lap on the board, 7 to go. And again, tonight, the Brock Leonard Memorial. 50 laps will be the main event tonight for these Thunderstocks, their biggest race of the year. And Tommy Gooch sent me a message saying that we have never had a repeat winner in the Brock Leonard Memorial, and Dave Bailey has never won it. So there's a couple of cool storylines to watch here tonight.
I call BS. I want to see someone fact check this Tommy Gooch. I've always just blindly trusted him.
8 races, 8 different winners. So
wow.
And Dave Bailey not one of them. Back to the green flag. Trevor DeBoer in the 23 on the bottom side. Ron Logie to the outside in the 97.
So what we'll see tonight is not our typical Ohsweken where the fast cars are in the last heat. You know, the heats go from slower to fastest. This would be a luck of the draw start because it is a duel in the dirt race, a special event. So we're going to mix the field up. But it doesn't seem to matter anyhow, Greg. We've watched Ryan Beagle and Dave Bailey go from 20th to 5th in about 2 laps.
Yeah, wherever they start tonight, they're going to be a factor by the end. They've got a lot of laps to get to the front tonight. More than double of what they usually go at it on a regular Friday night. Is out in front. It's Trevor DeBoer, Ron Logie in the battle for third. Is Adam Plazik on the bottom in the 41 and Ken Sargent the outside in the 25.
Adam Plazik started at the back of this one, having a good run out there, and Cameron Thompson in that 3 machine. He's driving one of the Bacher cars here tonight, and he's driving it hard.
Plazik working that inside of the 25 of Ken Sargent as they go down the backstretch. Sargent again holds down that 3rd spot. This time by it'll be 5 laps on the board. 3 to go in our first qualifying heat of the night for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks.
We've still got them battling for that 3rd spot. Kenny Sargent in the 25, Adam Plazik in the 41. Then we've got them battling as well for the 5th spot. Cameron Thompson up on the outside in that number 3. And the 45 machine, it's Barry Watson.
2 to go for Trevor DeBoer in the Mert Timson Auto number 23. Out in front, this is a guy that has been to victory lane here at Ohsweken Speedway. Has not had what he needs to get to the front in the features here in 2022, but tonight's as good a night as any for Trevor.
Yeah, exactly. Do it when the money's on the line and the prestige of the Brock Leonard Memorial. 1 more lap to go in this qualifying heat. Ken Sargent has taken up the 3rd spot, but Adam Plazik not giving up. Sargent bobbled there in turn 1, allowed Plazik to pull right up alongside of the 25 on the backstretch.
We're down to the checker flag off the corner. Trevor DeBoer will pick up the win over Ron Logie. Door to door for the 3rd spot. Ken Sargent takes it over Adam Plazik. 5th will go. Oh, into the wall goes Cameron Thompson in the 3, but he'll hold on for the spot over Barry Watson in the 45, and Pete Reed, Blake Bomberry Jr. both headed to the pit area early in that one. So the list of winners: Justin Ramsey, Chris Hale, Ryan Beagle, Ryan Dinning, Carl Salt, Lee Winger, Ryan Turner, and Brad Herron. Some names from the past there in the Thunderstock division.
Read that again, please.
Justin Ramsey, Christopher Hale, Ryan Beagle, Ryan Dinning, Carl Salt, Lee Winger, Ryan Turner, and Brad Herron.
There's only 3 drivers even here to be able to be a repeat winner.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Here's the lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole out of Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. His outside from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedick. Starting 3rd from Victoria, the 84 RK is Ryan Beagle. And starting 4th in the G8 from Port Colborne, Gino Duguay. Starting 5th from Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast People. Starting 6th at Ransomville, New York. Welcome back to the number 10, Jiren Israel. Starting 7th from Canfield, the 32 is Mark Fawcett. And rounding out the field, the 93 from Ohsweken, Melissa Miller.
Green flag goes up in the air. Heat race number 2 of 3. Make that 4 tonight is underway here for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks on Jib's Action Sport Night. Logan Schwedek had a early end to his evening last Friday night. He's on the outside there of Kyle Wirt in the 19, door-to-door off of corner 4.
Down the front stretch to complete lap number 1 is Logan Schwedek, and then they're 3 wide for second. I like Ryan Beagle's chances up on the outside. They're really carrying some speed in that 84. He'll look to the inside of Schwedek. Mark Fawcett picks up the 3rd spot, but Kyle Wirt trying him back on the high side with Jaron Israel rounding out the top 5 right behind them.
So Schwedek, Beagle, and Fawcett right now the top 3. Mark Fawcett has had a quietly successful season. I guess not too quietly, because we've heard a lot from him on the concrete pad down there in Quick Victory Lane. But Mark Fawcett really solid. He's right there, and any night could be his right now.
He's been the bridesmaid so many times, Greg, and in a field that has been as large as 37 cars, that's pretty darn good. But it's got to also be frustrating when you know you're that close.
Here he is riding in the 3rd spot behind Schwedek and Beagle. Schwedek pushes up the hill in corner 4. Beagle comes downstairs. 4 in, 4 to go. Beagle looking for the top spot down in 1.
Look at the room out there. Logan Schwedek way up high. Beagle down to the inside. Jaron Israel gets loose. He drops back in that 5th spot. Still plenty of time to make up that ground as the leaders battle side by side down the front straightaway with Schwedek taking the advantage.
Schwedek in that Advantage Electric number 53. He's out in front, and he's got the battle behind him now. Ryan Beagle. Mark Fawcett took a look down to the inside of the RK84, but it's Beagle in that 2nd spot. We see Kyle Wirt right up there in the thick of it as well. 2 laps left to go.
Mark Fawcett looked really good that last lap on the inside, especially in 1 and 2. Let's see if he can do that again. Roll up towards the leaders, but no, he's going to stay that same distance back. But Ryan Beagle to the inside of Logan Schwedek, but so far, Schwedek has the answers.
One more trip around for Logan Schwedek over Ryan Beagle, Mark Fawcett, and Kyle Wirt. Jaron Israel right now completing the top 5. Beagle's got a good run in 2. He'll head down the back stretch.
To the outside he went in 1 and 2. Gets that head of steam into turns 3 and 4. He'll drive to the inside. Logan Schwedek up high. It'll be a drag race to the finish.
At the checkers, Logan Schwedek wins over Ryan Beagle, Mark Fawcett. And then it's Kyle Wirt, Jaron Israel 5th. 6th will go to Go Fast Teeple. Melissa Miller in the 7th spot. And it's going to be Gino DeGay in the 8th and final position.
Mark Fawcett ran the inside that whole race, and then on the very last lap changed things up. And did he ever get a good run up on the high side? So a little later tonight, we're going to give a Case IH track report in a unique way, in a way we haven't done it before. In fact, maybe we're going to do that right now. Let's have a look at these Thunderstocks as they head out there. Well, I think let's do that a little bit later on. What do you say, Greg?
I guess that's the vote.
Do we need
that's what I'm hearing.
Do we need to call security? Heat race number 3 is on the racetrack now. On the ball out of Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus. Starting 2nd from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga. Starting 3rd from Hagersville, the 49 is Dave Bailey, and starting 4th out of Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman. Mike Thorne starts 5th in the 55. He's from Caledonia. Starting 6th from West Lorne, the 65 is John Dunn. Starting 7th from Hagersville, the 75 is Ryan Barry. Starting 8th from Port Colborne, the 7X is Dave Small.
Notice Mike Thorne's got a new ride tonight. That's his regular Humberstone car, and they just felt like they couldn't get that primary car working here at the Big O. So he's in the Camaro tonight for Mike Thorne. We'll see what Mikey Bobby can do with these wheels.
So what's the other car?
It looks kind of like a Trans Am. It's got some sheet metal work on it that I guess you would call a Trans Am. Or an IROC Camaro type, that style.
I believe it's a Gen 4 Camaro. This would be the Generation 3, I think.
I hope this one's luckier.
The Bailey car, the 49 and the 55 are both Generation 2 Camaros. The other one they've got is a Generation 3 Camaro, if that makes sense. And look at Bailey go right to the inside. Already, guys, 3 wide into 1 and 2.
Kyle Andrus in the middle, Casey Huffman up on the outside. Out in front, though, Mike Lazinga leads the way.
Yeah, Lazinga in the 93K works it through 3 and 4. On the bottom side, though, here comes Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey in that Gibbs Action Sport Queenston Chevrolet number 49. Side by side with Mike Lazinga. They're 3 wide behind them.
Now, Mike Lazinga showed me some pictures Tuesday night when we were here for the test session. He completely reclipped that 93 car. He was in a bad wreck a couple of weeks ago. Had a lot of work to do on that thing.
He's right up there fighting with Dave Bailey for the top spot, keeping pace. Gets a little sideways there in 1. Bailey will pull ahead just a bit. Mike Thorne, meanwhile, trying to work his way into a solid 3rd place run right now.
Fantastic 3-way battle for that 3rd spot. Mike Thorne has it for the moment, but Casey Huffman not giving up in the 13, and with them racing side by side, it gives Kyle Andrus the opportunity to stay in the hunt in that 43, but out front, it's all Dave Bailey in the 49. He has opened a gap on Mike Lazinga in the 93 as we reach the halfway mark of this heat.
Yeah, 4 down, 4 to go for Dave Bailey over Lazinga. Then it's Andrus, and we get a tangle down in 4. Mike Thorne.
So which one is luckier, the Gen 3 or the Gen 4? What was it?
Wow. He's got some crumpled bodywork on that. This is
the Gen Z that we haven't seen yet, because he hasn't had any luck in any of these cars.
You know, I think if he puts someone else's name on the car, leave the number, change the name on the roof.
You know, Mike's just had that kind of season, guys, and it seems like he's had a few like that where they just can't seem to catch a break.
No, the last season I remember him having this sort of bad luck was actually in a 360 sprint car, I think.
Yeah, that was a rough go for him, and then he took the step back to the Thunderstocks, and just in the wrong place and the wrong time in a lot of situations for Mike Thorne this year.
Field stacks up again. Greg, I'm told we're going to have clean windows for Monday night. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
I heard that.
Yeah? The side window, right?
I can see perfectly out the side window.
Bailey, Lazinga, and Thorne, 1, 2, and 3. Andrus and who we got back there in the 7 tonight, Adam?
Driving the number 7X from Port Colborne, it's Dave Small.
Dave Small. Wasn't sure. I couldn't tell if that was 7K, which sometimes is Kevin Kokorick, and but that is Dave Small in the 7X.
That is the Kokorick car, actually, Greg.
Oh, okay.
Kevin owns it, but they let Dave Small drive it. And if you guys get licking right now, you might have those windows clean by the end of the night.
It's a shame we couldn't train the raccoons to do their business down the front of the windows.
I'll tell you what, though, if he smeared ice cream on it, I think we'd be up for the challenge.
Oh, muffin.
Done. Sell admission of that, baby.
White flag out for Dave Bailey as he pulls a good distance away from Lazinga over Thorne, Andrus, and Small.
Mike Thorne's car's working better after the crash.
Yeah, he's getting a little more aerodynamics down the right side of that car.
Well, he just turned his fastest lap of the race, so it's either a little bit of anger or something tweaked that car to be a little quicker as Dave Bailey crosses the line. Our race winner, Lazinga's 2nd, Thorne in 3rd, then Andrus, Small, Barry, and Dunn. I wanted to call him Lorne, but he's from West Lorne. All right, heat race number 4 for the Thunderstocks. On the pole, a former winner of this event at Guelph, the 79 is Christopher Hale. On the outside of row 1 from Benbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. Starting 3rd from Ohsweken in the 48, it's Lyle White. Starting 4th from Caister Center, the 28D is Donnie Lampman. Starting 5th, another former winner of this race out of Belleville, the 03 is Justin Ramsey. Starting 6th in the 108 from Port Robinson, it's Zach Bleach. And rounding out the field from Caister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman.
Once again, in the same qualifying heat.
Yep. I almost mentioned Melissa Miller started last in her heat and Mike Lazinga wasn't there, but he was on the front row of the next heat, so they were not far apart.
Green flag goes up in the air, and Chris Hale, who's had some pretty solid runs as of late, and he's looking like he could be a contender, former winner, as you said, Adam. Here he is out in front of Phelan and Ramsey.
Christopher Hale has really had his elbows up this year. He's been in some physical battles out there, but he's got some solid results to show for it in that 79.
He leads lap number 1 with Phelan and Donnie Lampman behind him, who's door-to-door with Justin Ramsey. Then it's Bleach, Jim Lampman back there as well, and also Lyle White in the 48.
Once again, we're seeing the top part of the field. 5 or 6 cars running fairly close together. Out in front, in his own line, is Christopher Hale. Phelan jumps up over the cushion. That allows Justin Ramsey to look to the inside. Then is Donnie and Jim Lampman just ahead of Bleach.
Ramsey tucks in line there in that 3rd spot. Now looks low off of corner number 4 as they come across the stripe. 3 on the board, 5 to go. Right now it's all Christopher Hale in that Draper Doors number 79. Phelan second, and here comes Donnie Lampman. Now tries to the inside of the 0-3.
Donnie Lampman took that big swing at Justin Ramsey, but look at how it exposes him to his dad, Jim Lampman. He's going to go up the banking, try to carve it down the hill at the halfway mark.
Hale still your leader. Phelan doing a really nice job holding off Justin Ramsey. Donnie Lampman, Jim Lampman as well right there as Lyle White now slow down the front stretch.
Phelan's been quick this year in that 427, which is surprising because he just missed turn 3.
5 on the board, 3 laps left to go. Here comes Ramsey's got that car full sideways there, trying to work it down to the bottom on the 427. Donnie Lampman still giving chase. He'll dive down to the inside of the 03.
So it looks to me like Phelan's car is tight. He turns it down into the corner, but then the front end skates up the track, and he's really having to chase it. Once he gets to the exit of the corner, he's okay because he's up in that preferred groove to carry it. But watch him down into turn 3. He's really slowing down to try to get in, and still that car just plows up the track with the front end.
White flags out. Christopher Hale leads this one. The battle right now is 2nd through 6th. What a good fight. These 4 cars very evenly matched.
They sure are. Down the back straightaway they go. It is all Christopher Hale. Justin Ramsey has one more opportunity. He's going to back it up to the cushion, try to bring it down the hill to the checkered flag. Christopher Hale going to take the win. 2nd to Phelan, 3rd to Ramsey. 4th it's Donnie Lampman, and then Jim Lampman is 5th, and Bleach rounds out the top 6. Zach Bleach with Lyle White earning a DNF and a 7th place finish.
So that concludes heat races for tonight's Brock Leonard Memorial. It's also an Instapanels Duel on the Dirt combined race. So qualifying is concluded, and we'll move on now to the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. 30 cars here tonight, and we'll see 3 heats in total. Lining up on the pole for heat race 1 out of Caledonia, the 265, Mike Evers to his outside from Ohsweken. The 188, that's Paul Longboat. Going from 3rd in car number 1, he's out of Guelph, it's Jason Tolton. And rolling off 4th, the Wall of Famer out of Caledonia, the Pinball, Mike Giberson in the 11 machine. Starting in 5th from Waterdown, the 01 of Tristan De Silva, and to his outside from Cambridge, the 69, Rob Twitchett. Back in the 7th spots where we find Jeff Elslager. He's from Linden in the 11E. And Christopher French alongside of him. He's from Stratford in the 54. Ashton Dickey lines up 9th. He's out of Brantford in the 1A. And Steve Miller from Paris in the 79 starts in 10th. 6 laps the distance. First of 3 qualifying heats for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Out of turn number 4, the green flag flies, and they are off. Evers and Longboat up front, and then it's Tolton and Giberson charging down into turn number 1. Evers, he's going to take the lead on the back straightaway, but there's competition coming. Tolton's been lightning quick in the 1, and Tristan De Silva, well, he's got something to prove, I think, Greg. He's had some tough runs here as of late.
Yeah, one of those drivers that back in 2019, before everything shut down for a couple of seasons, he was right there, got his first win, and was becoming that weekly challenger for the win. But he's had all sorts of misfortune so far this year, and he is doing just that, Adam. He's looking for some redemption right now in that 0-1.
Off of turn number 4, Evers continues to lead. Longboat hanging on to 2nd with Tolton 3rd. Great 3-car battle for 4th and 5th out there. Ashton Dickey on the inside. Tristan De Silva up high with Jeff Elsliger looking for racing room.
Good three-car battle right back there for that fourth spot on back as we watch that. Here's the fight out front. Evers, Longboat, and Tolton working the outside line. 3 in, 3 to go as they work down into corner number 1.
Tolton way up in the fluff on the outside of 1 and 2, but did he ever get a launch off the corner? Longboat falling back into the grips of the Tristan De Silva battle with Elsliger and Ashton Dickey.
2 laps left to go for Jason Tolton with Mike Evers dropping through the field yet again. Issues on the 265. He's had some very solid outings this year, but can't finish them out.
Longboat bobbled there in turn number 2. That allows Tristan De Silva to get to the inside. Longboat will close the door on De Silva down into 3 and 4. The white flag is out over Tolton, and they're 3 wide for second.
One more trip around. Good battle for that second spot. 4 cars all fighting for it. Tolton out in front. Then it's Elsliger and side by side behind them. 3 cars now in the thick of it. It's Longboat, De Silva, and Ashton Dickey. Christopher French in there as well.
Off of turn number 4 for the final time. It's going to be Tolton for the win. Elsliger second. Longboat, Dickey, De Silva, French, Giberson, Twitchett, and Steve Miller with Mike Evers bringing up the rear.
Well, guys, we're down here in turn number 3 as we get ready. This will be your first Case IH track report. Still fairly wet down here on the bottom, but up here through the middle, it's starting to pack in. And as the mini stocks roll out for another qualifying heat, there is, way up here, a bit of a cushion starting to build. We'll watch this ridge all the way around here and see if they push this into a curb or whether it flattens out. If it makes a big curb, we'll knock that down with the Power Hero guys. But track conditions look right on par, as they should be at this time for a Friday night.
Lineup for heat number 2 from the pole out of Hagersville, the 23, Dusty DeBoer. To his outside from Smithville, the 51 is Eric York. Going from 3rd out of Brantford, the 64, Nick Erskine. Alongside him from Smithville, the 6X, that's Mike Serentakos. Starting in 5th is Nico Hansen from Beamsville in the 27. And Braden Cuse, also out of Beamsville in the 7B, alongside in the 6th spot. Jeremy Hughes goes from 7th out of Burlington in the 10J. Crystal Sewells in the 81D from Hamilton in the 8th spot. Then it's Fabio Oliveri out of Ancaster in the 16, and Tim DeBoer out of York in car number 9. In the back rows, the green flag is out, and Eric York, who has a feature win this year, jumps out to the early lead.
Dusty DeBoer hot on his heels there in the 2nd spot. Then they're 2 wide with Erskine on the inside of Serentakos racing for 3rd.
York, DeBoer, Serentakos 1, 2, and 3 on lap number 1. Dusty DeBoer gets sideways going into the first corner there, and Eric York pulls away just a little bit. Surprise winner already here in 2022, but really not surprising with how strong that 51 machine has been.
Didn't surprise us, it surprised him.
Yeah, he was pretty excited to find Quick victory lane, a former Autumn Colors winner at Peterborough Speedway on the asphalt, but quickly catching on to this dirt game.
Continues to lead the way through 3 and 4. Tough sledding down on the bottom of the racetrack tonight. Jeremy Hughes is trying to make it work in that 10J, but it's just hard to keep speed up. Fabio Oliveri takes advantage of Hughes going down low, heads up to the outside. He'll move himself into the top 5, but he's kind of mired behind the side-by-side battle of Nick Erskine in the 64 and Mike Serentakos in the 6.
White flag is out one more time around for York. DeBoer right there in the 2nd spot, and Nick Erskine has been a very pleasant surprise this year, doing so well on that 64 machine. And there he is riding in the 4th spot. Fabio's had a lot of work to do. He started out back. He's challenging that 64.
Erskine narrowly missed a spot on the podium last week. I believe he finished in the 4th spot, but he was up there battling with the top 3 all night long, and that feature as the white flag flies. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, close call down the front stretch here. Oh, and Erskine's slow up in 1 and 2, and he's going to have to take the car to the pit area. Wow, bad break for Nick Erskine in the 64. Checkers come out. Eric York will pick up the win over Dusty DeBoer. And then it's Fabio Oliveri with a nice drive from back at the back of the pack. Just Jeremy Hughes in the 4th spot. And then it was the 9 of Tim DeBoer who also made the drive from the back row. Mike Sirentakos in 6th, Nico Hansen 7th, 8th was Braden Cuse, 9th Crystal Sewells, and unfortunately I think the 64 of Nick Erskine may come up with the last spot there, as we have one more qualifying heat to go for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Martin Schroeder, he draws the pole. He's from Beachville in the 60. To the outside, it's Matt Newell from Hamilton in car number 2. Starting in the 3rd spot from New Hamburg in the 21H, it's Ryan Hiller. And from the 4th position from Waterford in the 4 car, that is Wade Thorne. Going from 5th, he's the point leader and the most dominant driver so far this year in this division out of Thorold, the 96 of Tyler LaFantasy. And his outside going from 6th out of St. Catharines, the 4C, that is Jason Coutu. Going from the 7th spot out of Welland, the 14 Double D, that is Dustin Duga. And in the 8th position for Mount Hope, the 10X, Jeff Earl. And in the back row, starting in 9th, Sean Taylor starts in the 46 machine. He's from Burlington. And Broden Weiler out of Simcoe in the 66 starts 10th.
So Sean Taylor, an asphalt racer, runs down at Flamborough Speedway on the regular. Have you seen the rental agreement that the Thorns use?
I did see that. That was pretty cool. I don't remember all it said, but I did read it earlier in the week.
We'll bring it up when we have a moment. As Thorne work in the middle of the racetrack, Schroeder is out in front. Newell is in the 2nd spot. Wade Thorne up to 3rd. He'll take a look to the inside of Newell. Newell down lower on the racetrack than we'd expect. That forces Ryan Hiller way down low on the racetrack as LaFantasy runs 5th, but he's looking for more.
Yeah, that 96 car has been hard to beat, and only a couple of times has that happened. Last week it was Rodney Rutherford that came in and scooped up the big payday away from LaFantasy, who finished 2nd.
And it hasn't been because he's blazing fast. I mean, he is fast. He's got a good race car, but he's put himself in good positions more often than not. And the brakes have gone his way as Martin Schroeder leading the way, but he's getting awful high in the racetrack on the turns there, Greg. Let's have a look at him work through 3 and 4. I mean, he's way up over where the cushion is.
Halfway home, 3 and 3 to go for Schroeder right now in that 60 machine. Here comes the 4. Wade Thorne looks low, but Schroeder gets a good run off the high side.
Battle for 3rd, LaFantasy on the inside of Newell as they work down the back straightaway. They'll try again through 3 and 4. Schroeder up a little bit higher than Thorne, but Thorne just can't quite get the speed through the center to get a run coming off.
2 laps left to go for Schroeder over Thorne. Then it's LaFantasy to the inside of Matt Newell as they work it off of corner number 2. That's the fight for the 3rd position. But out in front, we want Schroeder and Thorne.
One more lap to go as we've got one slow off the racetrack there in turn number 2 as Thorne has taken over that top spot. Schroeder back to 2nd, LaFantasy 3rd, but Newell fighting back on the high side. They pulled away from Ryan Hiller back in 5th.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time, the checkered flag in heat race number 3 for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Wade Thorne wins the race over Martin Schroeder. Then it's Tyler LaFantasy. Matt Newell 4th. 5th is Ryan Hiller. 6th, oh, we got one way up high off of corner 4. It's the Weiler machine. As the 21 of Hiller finishes in the 5th spot. And then it's Sean Taylor in the 46. Jason Coutu in the 4. And Weiler and Jeff Earl completing the running order as we wrap up qualifying for the mini stocks. It's on to the Race of Champions Sportsman Series. 3 qualifying heats, 23 cars here in attendance. Going from the pole in heat race number 1 in the 18R to Fort Erie, it's Brad Rouse. To the outside of him from Wayne Fleet in car number 15, Adam Leslie. Starting in the 3rd spot from Niagara Falls in the 35, that is Nelson Mason. And going from the 4th position out of St. Catharines to 68, that is Curtis Friesen. From the 5th position out of Fenwick in the 74, Taylor Vanderzanden. And from the 6th position out of Hamilton, the 24C, Cameron Lane. Going 7th out of Thorold, the 13M, that's Daniel McKay. And from the 8th and final spot out of Fort Erie, it's Bill Gill.
Dave Hunsinger waving the yellow flag. We need a couple more. Couple more pace laps. I shouldn't say that. We need Daniel McKay to get rolling in that 13 machine. A problem on that race car. As he's got the car running and rolling, I wonder if it won't go into high gear.
Yeah, Adam, that's the report here. The 13 cars apparently having trouble with the transmission. Cannot get it into high gear, so they will be able to roll it back and try and figure out what's up with the McKay 13.
On the bright side, all of the cars qualified tonight. There's 23 cars here. But the downside is he's got to come all the way from the back of the field.
Don't forget, souvenir programs on sale through the grandstands, $5 a copy. We'll give away some prizes at intermission. Also 50-50 ticket sales going on. Flag down the sellers in the pink t-shirts and get in on tonight's 50-50 draw. Ready to go with the Race of Champions Sportsman Series, green flag in the air.
Brad Rouse, the pole sitter, electing to start up on the outside of row number 1. He'll sneak out ahead of Adam Leslie down the back straightaway. Leslie going to fire it back to the bottom in 3 and 4. They'll be side by side off the corner, but Rouse with a better run. He's going to lead lap 1.
Rouse on that outside of the Bellinger Electric. Number 18R right behind him. Adam Leslie as they work it down the back stretch another time. Rouse sails it through corner number 3, and he comes off of 4 with all sorts of power, as we would expect for Brad Rouse.
Brad Rouse with more experience here at Ohsweken in a Sportsman car than anybody else in the field, but he's not pulling away. Adam Leslie doing a nice job of keeping that car wound up on the bottom.
Adam Leslie got it going there in that Sterling Lubricants number 15. Here he comes side by side of the line. Rouse edges ahead just at the line, but it's Leslie leading now down in corner 2.
Adam Leslie edges out in front of Brad Rouse. He'll stay down on the inside. He had the opportunity to pull up in front of the 18R, but he stayed down on the low side.
4 in, 4 to go here in this first of 3 qualifying heats for the Race of Champions Sportsman Series. Leslie gets a good run off of 2. He'll edge ahead down the backstretch into corner number 3.
He continues to run the bottom of the racetrack, leaving a lane up top for Brad Rouse if he so chooses. But Adam Leslie with a car length and a half advantage over the 18R. Now Rouse going to move down to the bottom of the racetrack and run more of a line than Adam Leslie.
I feel bad for Adam Leslie right now. His transponder is reading Brad Rouse on the scoring pylon. So even though he got to the lead, it still says Brad Rouse. Poor Adam Leslie, but he is leading the way with 2 to go.
Well, I see Adam Leslie out front, but then I see Brad Rouse first and second. But if I use my eyeballs, I can see Adam Leslie is leading the way.
So here he comes to the white flag. Adam Leslie, well fought and well deserved out in front with 1 lap left to go over Brad Rouse. And how about Nelson Mason with a good solid 3rd place run in that 35 right now.
Brad Rouse got a better run through 1 and 2 there. He's got one more chance to do it. He's going to sail it to the outside, but coming down for the checkered flag, it's going to be Adam Leslie over Rouse. Nelson Mason going to come home 3rd. Then it'll be Taylor Vanderzanden, Curtis Friesen, Cameron Lane in the 24C. Failing to make it to the end of that one were Bill Gill and Daniel McKay.
Couple mentions there, guys. Curtis Friesen won a dirt tour race here about 12 to 15 years ago. It was the one year they were actually checking something stupid like roof angle. Got his one tour race disappear. He said, man, I'm having flashbacks going through that tech barn tonight. He wrecked hard about 3 weeks ago and came back at Maryville to pick up the win the next night. So good to see him out there getting it done. And Nelson Mason, he kind of came out of nowhere, guys, road racing background, and has won 2 sportsman races at Maryville, which is a very tough feat when you come from the outside, guys.
Clint, I want you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
I don't ask you for too much. I want you to ask Curtis Friesen what year that was, because I have a feeling you're going to find that it was more than 10 years ago.
We'll go find that out for you.
Heat race number 2 on the track, starting from the pole from Hamilton, the 53, and that's Darryl Fairaway. To his outside from Port Robinson, the 108, that's Bill Bleach. Starting in 3rd, Justin Sharp. He's from St. Catharines in the 8S. Terry Smith alongside from Chippewa in the 22. Going from 5th, Mitch Dumont from St. Catharines in the 28, and alongside him out of Beamsville, the 09, that is Trevor Wright. From the 9th position, from Port Colborne, the 21P, Tyler Pacholski, and our buddy, the cameraman here, running his Sportsman tonight, starting in 8th out of Stevensville, the 25, Chris Hawkins. Should have made him carry the camera tonight as well.
I just assumed he was. He's not.
Here we go. Green flag in the air, and we're on it with heat race number 2.
Justin Sharp looking to the inside. He'll make it 3 wide for the lead, but Darrell Fairway is going to lead the way down the back straightaway into turn 3. Now it's Sharp to the inside once again. What a move into 3.
Fairway leads at the line. Bleach and Sharp door to door as they cross the stripe. Here comes Sharp on the bottom of the 53 as they work down the back stretch. Sharp tucks back in line, and that Blue Moon Potatoes number 8S working off a corner number 4. Sharp's right there. Oh, inches off the wheels of the 53 of Fairway.
I mean, he is really sending that 8 machine down into the corner. The Posner Metals 53 of Darrell Fairway's coming off the turns nicely, but Justin Sharp is just rocketing into the corners in that 8 machine.
Here they work off a corner number 4. Fairway still out in front of her. Sharp, Bleach, and Smith right now. They're the top 4. Mitch Dumont back there in the 5th position. We also see a battle going on between Pachalski and Wright as they work it through corner 2.
Bill Bleach in the 3rd spot, not really able to close that gap on the leaders as we're halfway through this qualifying heat. Fairway by a few car lengths over Justin Sharp in the 8th. I don't know what the difference is with these Sportsman cars, Greg, because with sprint cars, you would see them right up in the tacky dirt. But the Sportsman and the Modifieds, they run lower on the racetrack, a shorter distance to get around.
Well, Fairway's making it work right now with 3 laps left to go. Sharp and Bleach right behind him, 2nd and 3rd. A distance back to Smith, who's now about to feel some pressure from Dumont.
2 laps to go as they come off turn number 4. Fairway and Sharp running almost identical lines. Now Sharp will go a little bit lower down in 1 and 2 and not get the bite that Fairway has off the corner, and Fairway will stretch out to a 3 or 4 car length advantage into 3.
White flag coming out from Dave Hunsinger. One more trip around for the Posner Metals 53 of Darrell Fairway over Sharp and Bleach, and here comes Dumont trying to put the pressure on right now down in corners 1 and 2 on that 22 of Terry Smith.
Out in front, it's all Darrell Fairway. Sharp takes one last swing at it, but he's not going to get it done. Darrell Fairway over Justin Sharp. Bleach going to finish 3rd. 4th to Terry Smith, and then it's Mitch Dumont, Tyler Pachalski, Trevor Wright, and Chris Hawkins rounding out the field.
So 2 races in the books, 1 to go for the Race of Champions Sportsman Series. Heat race 3 rolling out onto the speedway, going from the pole. From St. Catharines to 72 is James Michael Friesen. And to his outside, also out of St. Catharines to 7, it's Cody McPherson. Another St. Cat's driver from the 3rd spot, the Mongrel, Jay Mallory in car number 20. To his outside from Merlin in the 21, it's Spencer Smolders. Starting in 5th from Ridgeway, the 23N, that's Nathan Peaty. And going from 6th out of Port Colborne in the 99P Junior, that is Mateo Panante. And going from 7th out of St. Catharines, the 17C of Jordan Costco.
I hope Spencer Smolders has a fuel sponsor. Hauling from Merlin every weekend to go racing in the horseshoe.
Get to watch him over the last number of years in the Thunderstock division. Here we go. Green is out in the 3rd and final qualifying heat for the Race of Champions Sportsman.
2 of the hot shoes of this division up front in this one. James Michael Friesen with Cody McPherson alongside. Jay Mallory. You know, I talked about Brad Rouse having more laps here than anybody. I was wrong. Jay Mallory has more laps than anybody.
JMF out in front, leading the way in that Bobcat of Hamilton, number 72 to the inside, though. Here comes Cody McPherson in the lucky 7 as they go wheel to wheel through 3 and 4.
Side by side off the corner, Cody Mack down low. James Michael Friesen will continue to lead. Another great battle for 4th. Costco in the 17C down the inside of Smolders. Smolders loses the nose of that race car. That'll allow Costco to get through for that 4th spot.
They roll it through corner number 4. Great shot there, riding right behind Cody McPherson from the drone. A good look at how these cars handle and work through the corner. A lot different than what we're used to seeing from a sprint car. on a Friday night.
Yeah, these cars lay a lot of body roll. They lay over onto that right rear. Still the fundamentals the same. You do a lot of driving of these cars off the left rear just like you would in a sprint car, but they look a lot different making their way. Oh, into the inside wall goes James Michael Friesen. How much did that hurt the 72?
Nice job recovering, though. I thought he was going to loop that one around. Holds on to the 72 as they work it off the corner. McPherson, your leader. Friesen continues to hold down the second spot over Mallory.
James Michael Friesen still flirting with the inside of the racetrack there in that 72, but out in front, Cody McPherson with the advantage. McPherson down low as well, looking for the bite, which is right down by the concrete on the inside of the racetrack.
2 laps left to go for Cody McPherson out in front over Friesen, Mallory, and Costco, who started in the back. He's up to the 4th position. White flag is out for the Lucky 7.
Best battle on the track right now is at the tail of the field with Matteo Panante trying to hold off Nathan Peaty in the 23. Don't think he's going to get to Spencer Smolders, but out in front, Cody McPherson going to take the checkered flag in this heat race. He'll be followed across the line by James Michael Friesen, Jay Mallory, Jordan Costco, and then at Spencer Smolders, Matteo Panante, and Nathan Peaty.
So the Race of Champions Sportsmen complete their qualifying heats, and that leaves us with just the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division left with their qualifiers before we head to B Mains.
4 heat races tonight, and we welcome at least one driver back to the Crate Sprint Division.
We had a look there at the JMF bounce off the wall.
Boink.
Oh.
That'll get your attention in a hurry. Heat race number 1 for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprints will roll off like this on the pole from St. Thomas. The number 4 is Jesse Costa on the outside of the front row. We missed him last week. He wasn't feeling very good, wasn't able to make it out. The 20 from Six Nations is the Iceman, Johnny Miller. Starting 3rd from Ohsweken, the 99 is Joshua Hill. Starting 4th, it's the Highlight Man in the 3RS from Mississauga. This is Mac DeMann. Starting 5th from Port Colborne, the 16R is Seth Roy. Starting 6th from London, the 7W is Caleb Wood. Good to see Caleb Wood back at the racetrack. Starting 7th from Ohsweken, the 77T is Tyler Powless. And starting 8th from Hagersville, the 14T is Noel Teal.
And we're going to stay yellow. Tyler Palace has got transponder issues. Doug just said 77. Take it to the pits. Get your transponder on. We need to fix these issues, so we will be under yellow here for a lap or 2.
Clinton, stick around because let's have this conversation. Mac DeMann out there driving the 3RS tonight. I heard a few comments, hey, what's he doing coming down here to cherry pick in the crate division? But I want to be the first one to suggest I don't think Mac DeMann is going to come out here and stomp this field. That's just not how this division works. I think this is a great opportunity for our crate sprint drivers to measure themselves against one of the best who ever raced in the crate sprint division. What are your thoughts, Clint?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think there's a lot of guys out here that are just as challenging to battle as Mac DeMann would be, and I don't think it's cherry picking anymore. I mean, this division has really picked up their game recently. I think Mac's going to have his hands full, and maybe he'll tell us later that it's not as easy as he thought it might have been. Palace is coming back to the track, guys. They have fixed the transponder, so the 77T headed your way. But Adam, there's a lot of talk about cherry picking. Should we let the 360 drivers bounce up and down? We just have one rule here at Ohsweken, and that's on a regular night, you can only drive 1 sprint car class per evening. So that's why Mac is able to drive this car and can't do it on a regular night, unless it's the tour nights, which Monday and Tuesday are, which some guys will be allowed to do double duty.
Mac DeMann, 12 career crate sprint car wins, and he tops the list over Wall of Famer, the gunslinger, Ryan Hunsinger, with 10. He's the next closest.
There you go. There used to be a time race car drivers would race for a living. And when you're racing for a living, you run whatever class you can, as many classes as you have a car for. Things have changed so much over time. You've got to build rules around different situations. But let's go racing with Jesse Costa on the pole in the number 4, Johnny Miller on the outside in the number 20.
And off they go, and the highlight man already making it interesting down in corner number 1. He gets to the inside of Johnny Miller gets by and into the second spot. Look at Seth Roy from the back making the move down in corner 3.
Seth Roy with a great turn 1 and 2. Not as good though as Jesse Costa out in front. He leads by 10 car lengths over McDeman.
Yeah, Costa in that Oakwood Transport car number 4 pulling away from the field. McDeman second. Here comes Seth Roy in that Juniors Riverside bait and tackle 16 machine. He's charging on the bottom with a good run here tonight.
How about Caleb Wood in that number 7, the Pinewood sponsored 7 machine, running in the 4th spot, trying to close in on that battle for 2nd and 3rd just ahead of him. Johnny Miller having his struggles with the handling on that 20. He has slid backwards through this field from the start of the race.
3 on the board, 5 to go for Jesse Costa, the driver to St. Thomas, Ontario, sailing it down the backstretch. McDeman in tow, and the battle is Josh Hill and the 7 machine as they go into corners 3 and 4.
Trouble. Turn number 2. It's Noel Teal who has gone around. And let's give a shout out to Joshua Hill in the 99. We talked about Caleb Wood closing in. Joshua Hill actually passed Caleb Wood that last lap. So far in this race, the fastest lap has been turned by Jesse Costa. A couple of tenths faster than McDeman running in the 2nd spot. Seth Roy was impressive, moving up in that 16 machine.
Well, Teal with a new sponsor this year, Dixieland Grill. I think you and I would like that place, Adam.
Noel Teal just lost the back end going down into the corner behind Johnny Miller. An innocent spin between turns 1 and 2. To get the car pushed off again, and she will rejoin the tail of the field. Caleb Wood being motioned ahead of Joshua Hill to go back to the last completed lap. Up on the scoreboard, we have scored 3 laps, so whatever the running position was at the end of lap 3. We're looking at it on the racetrack with Noel Teal pulled out of the lineup and sent to the back. So if you're here for the start of a huge week of racing here at the Big O, welcome to Ohsweken, the campgrounds. There's people camping in the lot to the turn 1 end of the racetrack. There's people camping off at turns 3 and 4. It is going to be a monumental few days here at the Big O, Greg.
Green flag back in the air. McDeman look to the outside. Now he'll dive down deep down in corner 1.
Oh, dicey racing there back for the 3rd spot. McDeman stayed to the inside. Jesse Costa with a good run up high, but he bounces a little bit over that cushion. Crossover move, and Costa will lead at the stripe.
Costa now to the inside in corner number 1. Will roll back past McDeman as they work down the backstretch. So it's Costa right now with the man, and the battle for 3rd right now continues to be a good one.
Joshua Hill with a nice move to pick up that 3rd spot. Caleb Wood seems better in 3 and 4, but Joshua Hill is better in 1 and 2. Out in front continues to be Jesse Costa leading the way over McDeman.
2 laps left to go this time by. We continue to watch that battle for 3rd. Wood on the outside, the Pinewood Horticulture 7 machine. Here's Joshua Hill down to the bottom. Give the spot at the line to Wood in the 7.
Fantastic battle there. There's 20 feet between those 2 cars in the corner, but they're racing side by side.
White flag out for Jesse Costa as he's lengthened his advantage over McDeman. 1 more trip around DeMan in that 2nd spot. Then it's Wood and Hill and Roy rounding out the top 5.
Final time through 3 and 4. Jesse Costa, who filled in for McDeman in the 360s a few weeks ago, he'll take the win. McDeman 2nd. Caleb Wood holds off Joshua Hill for 3rd. 5th to Seth Roy. 6th to Tyler Paulus, with Noel Teal coming home 7th. Well, that was fun to watch.
Good racing in a few spots on the track there in that qualifying heat.
Once again, the track crew doing a nice job with the racing surface out here. Giving these drivers plenty of room to operate out there. There's a great bottom groove. We've seen drivers roll in the center, and we've seen them up top on the cushion. Heat race number 2 is going to line up like this on the pole from Freelton. He's having a fantastic season. Behind the wheel of the 12 Double D, it's Darren Dryden. To his outside in the 77E from Ohsweken, it's Ashton Van Every. Starting third from Thamesford, the 7 is Eric Gledhill, and starting fourth in the number 2 out of Kitchener, it's Travis Hofstetter. Starting fifth from Ohsweken, the MK8 is Matt Hill. Starting sixth from Georgetown, the 2M is Steve Murdoch. Starting seventh from Wainfleet, the BS39 is Brett Stratford. And rounding out the field from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill.
White flag coming out, and Darren Dryden going from the pole in this one. And as I was updating the points on the website last weekend, I'm like, why is Darren Dryden down in fifth? He's won 4 races. Well, I forgot he missed that feature. The one I don't even know if he made the heats that night, but he had problems and didn't make a feature. So he's fifth in points right now. He's 49 markers back at the top spot, and he's the only one in the top 9 that only has 7 starts compared to everyone else's 8. So still to be fifth is very good.
It is impressive, but this division is just so very tough.
Green is out. Some close racing amongst the top 3. Dryden, Gledhill, and Van Every. And boy, look at Stratford there on the bottom digging by Murdoch and Hill.
I was watching Stratford go down into 1 and 2, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Soon as the cars come off the bottom of the racetrack, he launches to the inside. What a great opening lap for Brett Stratford, all the way up to the 4th spot, nipping on the heels of 3rd.
I like watching Brett Stratford. He's exciting to watch, and he's not like over the top exciting. He's just very methodic, very quick, and he's picked this up here at Ohsweken Speedway very quickly as well.
He's always been a fantastic racer. He came on the scene in go-karts about the same time as Mike Bowman, Joe Middlemiss, like drivers who really came up through the ranks to be impressive.
So right now it's all Darren Dryden in that DJD Graphics 3M number 12. DD out in front over Eric Gledhill, who's second place in the points coming into tonight. 4 in, 4 to go.
Brett Stratford going to try to close in on Eric Gledhill, but Gledhill's actually a little bit faster right now in that number 7 machine, so Stratford going to settle into 3rd. 4th, Steve Murdoch having a good season as well in that 2M machine as he gets around Travis Hofstetter.
5 on the board, 3 to go for Darren Dryden over Eric Gledhill, Brett Stratford. Those top 3 have all distanced themselves. Murdoch's got a good gap back to Hofstetter, who's got Van Every behind him. Now it's 2 laps left here in this qualifying heat number 2.
And keep an eye on 12, Darren Dryden. Look at the line he's running. That's kind of been his signature line all season long. Talking to his dad, John Dryden, his crew chief, Steve Gary, their philosophy is until someone can show us a line that works better than this one and can beat him running that way, they're just going to keep on pounding the bottom like they are.
Checkers coming out. Darren Dryden picks up another win. Heat race number 2 goes to Darren Dryden over Eric Gledhill. Brett Stratford 3rd, 4th at the line's going to be Steve Murdoch. 5th goes to Ashton Van Every. 6th will be Travis Hofstetter. 7th is Larry Gledhill. Then it's Matt Hill completing the running order in heat race number 2.
Have you noticed that every week Matt Hill has a different name? Some weeks it's Matt, some weeks it's Matthew. No rhyme or reason to it. You ever notice that?
No, I didn't.
You were very unaffected by that question.
And I've probably gone back and forth.
I read what's on the sheet. It's the Ron Burgundy in me.
So you're saying the sheet changes?
No, maybe it's my eyes, you dingus. What do you think changes?
Well, I've never noticed that.
Well, what do you think I was talking about?
Why
he
would that change?
His name?
Why would that change? Why would my race pass change every week?
That's what makes it story-worthy. That's why I brought it up. What is wrong with you?
But we can't get Mark McDonald to be from Lucan.
No.
We can change names, but we can't change hometowns.
That's beyond our means. Hey, it's cool to see this driver back. Pole sitter for heat race number 3 from Six Nations in the 38, it's Derek Miller. Rolling off second from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. Starting 3rd out of Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. Starting 4th in the 74, he's from Rockwood, it's Rob Neely. Starting 5th in the 2W from Caledonia, it's Lee Winger. Starting 6th from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. Starting 7th in the 19D at Waterloo, it's Alan Downey. And starting 8th from Ohsweken, the 28 is Jordan Hill.
"32 cars here again tonight." That was another thing I looked at. 43 crate sprint drivers have taken starts this year.
Well, look at the tracks that are running them on a fairly regular basis anymore. I mean, Humberstone, obviously, but Brockville Speedway, Can-Am Speedway in New York, growing like wildfire.
Ready to go, 8 laps of distance. Heat 3 of 4 tonight for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Derek Miller and Ryan Fraser bring them to the green flag.
Derek Miller's got to be a little bit rusty. He's not been behind the wheel for quite some time, and that 38 does a nice job through 1 and 2. But Trevor Young with a good start in the 51. He'll work to the inside looking for the lead at a turn number 4. Young going to lead lap 1.
Young in that 51. That's what he needs. That's got to feel good for him right now to be out in front, because he has had a lot of misfortune here. In 2022, he's been in a lot of B mains, and here he is out in front over Ryan Fraser to complete lap 2.
Alan Downey's been showing a lot of speed this season in the 19. He's up to that 3rd spot. Looking to close in on Ryan Fraser, Rob Neely, right between Derek Miller and the 38 and the 88 Lance Erskine. That's a great battle for the 4th spot, but out front, Trevor Young continues to lead the way.
Alan Downey to the inside of Ryan Fraser. He'll take the spot away, so the 19D to the 2nd spot. Fraser back to 3rd. And it's Derek Miller and Rob Neely, your top 5, halfway home in this heat race. And what a run for Trevor Young. This is great to see him out in front, Adam.
It absolutely is. A school teacher from Ancaster behind the wheel of that number 51. Not a lot of sponsors on that race car. In fact, there might not be any on that 51 machine.
Yeah, this year I don't see anything on the 51 for Trevor Young, but great run for him nonetheless with 3 laps left to go. Downey, I think, is closing the gap a little.
He is closing in. Can Trevor Young hold him off? It'll be 2 to go, says Dave Hunsinger, the flagman. Twice more around. Young is getting off the corners well. Alan Downey's getting in and through the middle a little bit better. In fact, as I say that, Alan Downey cuts a perfect turn. Can't quite get the nose in underneath the 51 of Young. White flag is out.
I think Alan Downey could have forced the issue there, but he thought better of it, and he loses a bit of ground in that exchange. He'll have another try in 2.
Deja vu all over again. Trevor Young overdrove 1 and 2 just a little bit. He's got one more chance to get him back. He's not going to do it. Alan Downey going to take the win. Look at Derek Miller looking for 3rd. Young 2nd. Fraser 3rd. Derek Miller 4th. Rob Neely 5th, and it's Lance Erskine, Jordan Hill, and Lee Winger.
So Alan Downey picks up the heat race win, and he's had literally an up and down season, as the white roll bars would show you. I believe that's a Team Turner chassis.
Yeah, the one night after Ohsweken, they switched everything over so he could run Merrittville the next night. I don't know if the Turners are here tonight or not, giving their support to Alan Downey. They've got a big week ahead of them, though, with racing on Monday and Tuesday. Here's how they'll roll off for the 4th qualifying heat. On the pole from Stony Creek, the 24A is A.J. Lewis. On the outside of row 1 from Port Colborne, another one who's come back to the crate division, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. Starting 3rd from Brantford, the 49L is Lucas Smith. Starting 4th in the 16X out of Ancaster, it's Keegan Baker. Starting 5th from Woodstock, the 29W is Tyler Ward. Starting 6th in the 9C from Ohsweken, it's Brian Nanicoke. Starting 7th from Listowel in the 97, it's Sheldon Bender. And starting 8th out of Brantford, the 69K is Ken Hamilton. A.J. Lewis in that white number 24 with pink numbers. Jacob Dykstra in that familiar black 5D on the outside of the front row. But they're going to bring it to green with the ever-aggressive 49L of Lucas Smith starting third.
And he comes in tonight as the point leader. He's got a couple of wins so far this year, and in 8 feature starts, 7 top 5s, and all 8 starts have been in the top 10.
Man, oh man. I thought Jacob Dykstra drove it hard into turn number 1, but A.J. Lewis really sent it down in there to take the lead on the back straightaway. And the leader of lap number 1 will be A.J. Lewis in the white 24.
Yeah, that Insta-Insulation 24 out in front over Dykstra, Smith, and Baker right now in that 4th spot. Tyler Ward holding on to the 5th position with Brian Nanakoke working to the outside of him.
Keegan Baker up over the cushion in turn number 3. That allows Tyler Ward to get around. Brian Nanakoke had to check up just a little bit, but out in front, it's all A.J. Lewis as Lucas Smith starting to close in on Jacob Dykstra.
3 on the board, 5 to go for A.J. Lewis, and Lucas Smith and Jacob Dykstra continue to go at it down in 1 and 2. Smith to the inside. He'll slip by the driver of the 5D as Smith closes in on the leader. He'll go to the top shelf now.
I think Lucas Smith just surprised the heck out of Jacob Dykstra.
4 in, 4 to go. Smith cuts it back down the backstretch, trying to close the gap on the 24A of A.J. Lewis. Here they come off of corner number 4. Lewis driving a strong race car tonight. We've seen him on the podium a couple of times this year.
Yeah, that car's been stout this season. Lucas Smith doing a great job this year. He is running on a shoestring budget in the 49s as they're week to week in that 49L. They've got everything they've got going into this 49L machine. But he's looking good out there. The top 3 have really pulled away, but evenly matched they are.
Yeah, Lewis out in front coming to the white flag. Smith trying that outside line, trying to close the gap. Dykstra's right there with him. He gets a little sideways off of 4. Here comes Smith. Big run on the outside of 2.
He'll get around the A.J. Lewis 24 down the backstretch. The final time. Checkered flag will be waving it off of turn number 4. Lucas Smith for the win. A.J. Lewis second. Then it's Jacob Dykstra. Tyler Ward coming home first. 4th, rounding out the top 5 is Brian Nanakoke with Sheldon Bender 6th. Keegan Baker 7th. And congratulations to Ken Hamilton. Unofficially, that is the first race he's run this year where he did not get lapped. He crossed the start-finish line before Lucas Smith did. And it doesn't sound like much, Greg, but that's the progression of these racers as they start to learn a little bit and get a little better every week.
So that wraps up qualifying heat race wise and sends us now to our B mains. And I think you're up first, Adam. It'll be the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks with their last chance qualifier for tonight's Brock Leonard Memorial.
Here's how they're going to line up. Hey, Doug Leonard, how many cars qualify? 4. 4 cars going to make it out of this B main. Here's how they line up on the pole from West Lauren. The 45 is Barry Watson on the outside of row number 1. From Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast Teeple. Ryan Berry starts 3rd in the 75. He's from Hagersville, starting 4th from Port Robinson. The 108 is Zach Bleach. Scheduled to roll off 5th from Welland, the 05 is Pete Reed. 6th from Ohsweken, the 93 is Melissa Miller. 7th as we got a car off the track. 7th from West Lauren, the 65 is John Dunn. 8th from Ohsweken, the 48 is Lyle White. 9th from Ohsweken, the 24 is Blake Bomberry Jr. 10th for Port Colborne, the G8 is Gino Duguay. And 11th from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman.
And off they go. 4 spots on the line to tonight's big 50 lapper. And look at Pete Reed run the bottom side. He'll grab the lead. Go Fast Teeple on the outside of the 2nd spot. They're stacked up 4 wide there mid-pack.
Pete Reed putting some smoke out the back of that 05 machine, so not sure if that's going to cause problems for him. A lot of things can cause smoke. If you work on a race car, get some oil on the exhaust, that sort of thing, it'll smoke for a while and then go away. As Zach Bleach comes off of turn number 2, trying to squeeze Melissa Miller down. Not sure if he realizes there's 2 cars down there with Blake Bomberry on the inside, but this is not going to end well for Zach Bleach.
It's Pete Reed out in front. Where we expect him to be. Oh, he's so strong that smoke's still billowing out of the 05, but nonetheless, he's out in front over Teeple. as they work it down into corner number 3 in the battle for the transfer spot. It's going to get dicey here in the final laps.
John Dunn holding down that third spot, but if he saw what was going on behind him, he'd try to push that gas pedal a little bit farther. Blake Bomberry gingerly down on the inside as contact sends Melissa Miller around. And I think Melissa Miller kind of sent herself around in the 93, and she will take off. We will stay under green as we reach the halfway mark of this one.
So right now it is the 65 of John Dunn has the last spot, but Zach Bleach working that inside line, trying to take the 4th and final transfer spot away.
Bleach will drive up the inside of Dunn down into 3 and 4. They're right behind Blake Bomberry. Meanwhile, the smoke is getting heavier out of the 05 of Pete Reed. Bleach makes the pass over Dunn, so for the moment he's got that 4th spot. Oh, trouble in turn number 2. Melissa Miller goes around. I think that's, yeah, I think my eyes are right. Happy anniversary, Mark. More so to your better half, but happy anniversary to you too, pal. You definitely married up, my friend. Let's have a look at the first incident down in 1 and 2. Melissa Miller down on the inside. Yeah, and Zach Bleach running his line. It just didn't entirely jive with where Melissa Miller wanted to be, but she's got to respect. I think in that case, it's better off that Melissa spun, because it'd be a shame to see Zach Bleach get spun out in that situation.
Green back out. Pete Reed holding on with the smoke coming out of that 05 machine. Bomberry now to the 2nd spot as he and Bleach will work by Go Fast Teeple.
Yeah, Go Fast Evil did not get a good run through 1 and 2 there that first lap as they work down into 3 and 4. Looks like the extreme bottom is the way to go right now with 2 laps remaining.
Bleach opens the door to get to the inside of the Nitro 54 variety. Number 24, Blake Bomberry Jr. takes the 2nd spot away. Dunn is there, but he's got Teeple running to the outside. It's going to come down to the checkered flag, I think.
It sure is. Teeple with a good run down the backstretch. Blake Bomberry's got to stick to the bottom in that 24. He comes off the bottom and loses speed. So Reed out front, Bleach in 2nd. Those spots look to be secure. The battle's on for 3rd and 4th. Who's going to be left out?
Blake Bomberry holds on to 3rd. Dunn looks low on him. Go Fast Teeple's got a good run as well. Coming down to the checkered flag this time by the crazy alien. Pete Reed is going to hold on for the win. Then it's Bleach, Bomberry, and Dunn. Boy, it looked like Dunn kind of let up with the start-finish line too.
Did so.
Boy, oh boy.
So on the outside looking in, unofficially, Go Fast Teeple, Casey Huffman, Melissa Miller, Barry Watson, Lyle White, and Gino Duguay. Their nights have ended. Mini Stock Consi rolling onto the track now.
Mike Evers rolls off the pole from Caledonia in the 265 to his outside Rob Twitchett from Cambridge in the 69. Going from 3rd in the 79 machine, it's Steve Miller from Paris. And going from 4th, Nick Erskine from Brantford in the 64, who had a good solid run going but dropped out of his qualifying heat. Braden Cuse from the 5th spot. He's from Beamsville in the 7B to his outside Crystal Sewells from Hamilton in the 81D. Going from 7th, Rick Van Cleef from Vineland in the 52. Jeff Earl from Mount Hope in the 10X will start in 8th. Dustin Duga out of Welland in the 14 Double D will start 9th. And Broden Weiler from Simcoe in the 66 goes from 10th.
7 cars going to transfer. I just saw Lucas Smith running up the grandstands. Didn't he just finish? Didn't he just race? Like, did you sprint across?
He's high energy.
I think he was upset with me. He did message me last week after the races about the cannonball comment. We had a little chat about that.
I don't even remember that.
He sent it down into the turn a couple of times.
I don't pay attention to the best of times, so that's probably
fair enough.
There you go. Mike Evers out in front, and if Mike Evers could have some good fortune, he might be able to get that 265 to finish things out. He's been strong when he's had the car running, but he's either been caught up in someone else's mess or he's had some mechanical problems, and the 265 is right there where we know he can run.
Well, the challenge is he starts his races just like this, looking good, and then trouble befalls him. How about Halfpine out there running in the second spot? Little Robbie Twitchett in the 69.
No, whatever. Oh, no. Okay,
yellow
flag.
yellow.
Okay. I thought something was happening.
So Rob will do double duty this weekend. He'll drive this car tonight and then drive the Burger Barn number 44 Vintage Modified tomorrow night at Flamborough Speedway.
After you stretched the seat out last week?
Let me tell you, there might still be a puddle in the floor of that race. It was 150 degrees in that darn thing.
What were you thinking?
Red flag came out at one point. So it goes from 150 degrees to about 170 degrees. I felt like a baked potato.
Why did Darrell Waltrip's chrome driver suit come to mind? We should get that for you.
It's
the baked potato.
It was something else. Thank goodness Dave Franks comes along to take pictures of all of us while we're sitting in our cars half dead. And he brought over bottles of water. If I could have reached, I would have kissed him.
Guys, just want to mention this 52 Rick Van Cleef coming over from the Pure Stocks at Flamborough. Said they had an absolute blast last week. Back here tonight, but the car comes up slow with no power in the back straightaway. That's the cause for the caution. We're good and ready to go.
Green flag is out. Steve Miller with a big start there from the third row. Works his way up to fourth. Not sure if he was a little premature on that or not. But they'll battle off of turn number 2. Twitchett looking to the outside of Mike Evers. Nick Erskine there in the mix as well. Remember, 7 cars will qualify.
It's time by lap 3 goes up on the board. 6 laps as this B main qualifier. Top 7 to transfer. It's Evers, Twitchett, and Erskine. Miller with a good run in that 4th position in the 79.
Twitchett is another one. He's up sort of over the cushion, racing way up in the fluffy stuff out there, but it's making speed for him in that Cal Tire number 69. 2 laps to go. He is going to take the lead out of turn number 4.
All sorts of troubles at the back right now for Dustin Duga in the 14 DD. I thought he was going to head to the pit area last time by. He's wheels up on this side, but troubles at the back. Nonetheless, the battle at the front. Rob Twitchett out in front over Nick Erskine. Mike Evers coming to the white flag.
One more time around for Twitchett. He'll have to hold off Nick Erskine in that Arnott's Automotive 64 machine. Erskine right up on the tail of the 69. With Jeremy May right behind them. Jeff Earl, sorry.
Yeah, Jeff Earl's got a big run into corner number 3 as they come off the corner. Checkers out. Rob Twitchett picks up the B main win over Nick Erskine, and then Earl, Evers.
Guys, look
Miller.
at this battle. Broden Weiler's got a flat tire, Crystal Souls. Who's going to get the last transfer? Oh, I think Broden got it.
It looked that way. Good call, Clint.
Yeah, Broden Weiler buying that car from the Jansen brothers and looking pretty good out there in his first crack at the wheel.
Doesn't matter how you get in the show as long as you get in the show.
2-seater, I think, is coming out next. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on G-Force TV. We'll be back at Ohsweken Speedway.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it in the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV. Welcome back live to Ohsweken Speedway here on GeForce TV. I'm Greg Kellman, with me Adam Ross, down trackside Clinton Jeffrey, who's just waiting on our Top Gun Award winner presented by Ackland Insurance. We'll have, I believe, I heard it was Alan Downey is going to be down there in Quick Wick Victory Lane. But nonetheless, it's Jibs Action Sports Night, and it's the biggest night of the year for the Thunderstock division, as it's the Leonard Memorial on deck. 50 laps for them, duel on the dirt, brought to you by Instapanels. It's a combined race for the Thunderstocks. ROC Sportsman still to come, along with the mini stocks and the crate sprints with their features as well. And we're ready to go down trackside for the Top Gun Award presented by Ackland Insurance.
Thanks, guys. Just want to mention this cool crew stuff we've got here from our friends at Fast Eddie, taking care of us and getting all of us looking good. They can do that for your crew, too. That's Fast Eddie Speedway. We're ready for our Ackland Top Gun Award winner, though. Alan, a great night when you can start your night down here. That means you were the fastest in qualifying. You know, Brett Stratford looked good in his heat, but you passed a few more than he did. Let's talk about your night so far, Alan.
Yeah, the track's great. We've got lots of moisture in it. I just felt really good on the bottom. I knew that the guys would be humming the top. You can't go through them when you're at the back of the pack, so I just tried to hit my marks on the bottom, and it worked out for us.
For the first time night, Alan, looks like we're starting to build a cushion down in 3 and 4. I haven't got a good look at one yet, but it is starting to come up in 3 and 4. Nothing to really worry about. It's a fairly small cushion. What's your feeling on the track conditions right now?
Yeah, I really like it. It's going to be a speedy track. It looks like 2 lanes are going to come in. I wouldn't underestimate the bottom yet. So the top in 3 and 4 looks really hammered down. But we'll see what 1 and 2 does. That's always 1 and 2 here, for whatever reason, is always the wild card. That's where you make or lose time. And so we'll see how it goes in the future here.
Alan, for these new fans watching, because we do have some people here, you were a fan in the stands, came here with your dad, started iRacing, now you bought a car, and here you're other veteran telling us what's going to happen tonight. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be here. For years, I was sitting up in turn 1, just as a fan watching, and decided, you know what, I want to give this a try, and just jumped into a sprint car when I was 33. I'm 37 now. It's been a few years, but it's a blast. It's been so much fun. I could never expect the kind of family atmosphere that racing has, and it's been really cool to experience that. It's been a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you to Nathan Ackland and Ackland Insurance for this, and to all my sponsors that help us out. We've had a tough go, really bad luck. Hopefully we can change that tonight.
Well, Alan, let's tell all the kids up there. You stay in school, kids. You can work through it. Alan's a university professor. Alan, thank you for your time, and congrats.
Thank you very much.
Alan's our Ackland Insurance Top Gun Award winner tonight. He'll pick up $100 courtesy of Nathan Ackland for being the #1 in passing points tonight. And as we mentioned, kids, just like Alan sat for many years up there, you can make it from the stands down here to the Ackland Insurance Top Gun Award winner. How about a hand for our award winner, Nathan Ackland? He's going to take home the Nathan Ackland cash tonight. Alan Downey tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Well, guys, things are cruising along fairly nicely here. We get ready for our biggest event Monday, Tuesday. Super excited to have the NASCAR Pinty Series here after their practice on Tuesday. I think things went very well. Adam, you were here with us to watch it. I'm not sure if you're up in the booth now, but what were your thoughts on it?
Clint, I'll tell you, I'm going to be totally honest here. The cars looked a lot better than I thought they were going to.
Yeah, I agree.
I had actually seen a picture of Dave Bailey's car the first night they came out to put it on the racetrack, which I think was a micro sprint night. Something about the attitude of the car in the corner, I thought, ooh, maybe this isn't going to work. It looked like it was rolling right over. But Tuesday night, man, the cars looked sporty out there. Most of them were working the high side of the racetrack, but I was really impressed. Dave Bailey looked fantastic. Jake Hooker testing a car that Kenny Schrader is going to drive. That kid looked dynamite. They were having him run the middle, the bottom, the outside, working that car everywhere on the racetrack. Man, oh man, there's a lot of room to operate for these guys out there.
Yeah, I agree. Great field. They released the starting lineup or the entry list so far, 23 strong so far. I think we may see a couple more in that, but a great field for the NASCAR Pinty Series, first event on dirt. Of course, they'll be here on Monday as part of 2 practice sessions. The second will be the Hot Lap Challenge presented by Quick Fire Starter, where the top 5 times in session 2 will get some cash here to help pay for their practice tires. And then, of course, Tuesday, it all kicks off here. Gates open both days at noon. If you're interested, check it out. We have all the information, including a fan guide, on the website. Still lots of good tickets available. And camping, if you're interested in hanging out with us for a few days, go on NPS. That's NPS as in NASCAR Pinty Series, NPSondirt.com. For latest and greatest, or OhswekenSpeedway.ca, guys.
What did you hear about Trevor Monahan?
Someone was telling me he's going to be in a car, and I'm trying to think who I was talking to about that. But, yeah, he will be out here racing is what I'm told.
Because I doubt he was on the list that NASCAR would have put out.
Well, there was a TBA in car number 4 and wasn't sure who that was going to be.
Car number 4?
I thought that's what I saw.
Who was the owner?
Now I'd have to go back to my phone. You got the list in front of you. You'd have to figure that one out. I could try, but it'll take me a couple minutes here.
Like he normally would drive for Rob McConnell. I'm trying to remember if that car was number 4. It might have been. But great to see that. Don't know that Trevor has any experience on the dirt, but he's been crewing for Glenn Steyers a little bit this year, and I think maybe some for DJ Kennington.
Well, we know the campers are going to be here, that's for sure. Of course, music and concerts going on both nights in the pits. And the best way I can describe it, Adam, is if you've been to Jurassic Park at the Raptors game, we're trying to create that here in the pit area. We'll have a big screen in the pits with a bunch of concerts. Of course, our very own Derek Miller, Dwayne LaForme Band, Jace Martin, and a bunch of the others. Silverado will be out here. So we're excited about it. Of course, going to have a big dinner contingent plan on Monday and Tuesday. Have a lot of special guests in the tent off of turn 1 and 2. And lots of stuff going on in the next few days around here. And then, of course, we're off next week. No micro sprints and no racing on the Friday as well. So we'll get a bit of a week's vacation.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on GeForce TV. We'll be back. Features lining up in the pit area here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
Back live here at the Big O on Jib's Action Sports Night, getting ready for the Leonard Memorial for the Thunderstocks. 50 laps of distance for them. We've also got the crate sprints, the mini stocks, and of course the Race of Champions Sportsman series here tonight as well. But I think up first, we got a B main to run for the crate sprint car division. $12 laps, 8 cars.
This caught me by surprise, Greg.
Well, I'll run through the starting lineup for this one. Larry Gledhill goes from the pole out of Temsford in the 14 to his outside from Ohsweken in the 28, Jordan Hill. Going from third is Noel Teal out of Hagersville in the 14T. And to the outside, Keegan Baker from Ancaster in the 16X. Matt Hill starts from fifth. He's from Ohsweken in the MK8. Lee Winger goes sixth. He's from Caledonia in the 2W. Johnny Miller, the Iceman, out of Six Nations in car 20. He starts seventh. And Ken Hamilton from Brantford, the 69K, starts in the 8th spot. White flag displayed here for the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car B main.
I didn't think it would happen that quickly because I had a great big mouthful of Western Survivor turkey pepperette, and I couldn't chew it quick enough to get to that lineup. So I appreciate you, Greg Collin.
No problem.
It'll wear off. Thank you to all those who sent me messages about Trevor Monahan. It's good to have that kind of knowledge at our fingertips.
Last consi of the night, and then we'll head into our feature events. Larry Gledhill will take the lead down into corner number 1 with Jordan Hill running the outside of the 28. Here comes Noel Teal in the 14. They're in the 3rd spot.
Keegan Baker trying to hold off Matt Hill. Hill down on the inside. Johnny Miller going to drive it deep in the outside. 3 wide off of turn number 4.
Miller on the outside of that number 20 machine, the Iceman, as we see a change for the 2nd spot. Noel Teal slings by Jordan Hill in the 28.
Noel Teal flexing some muscle out there in the 14T. Jordan Hill going to go back around in 3 and 4. Here comes Johnny Miller to join the fray. Matt Hill as well. 4 cars battling for that 2nd spot.
Jordan Hill to the outside of Noel Teal in that battle for the 2nd position. It's all Larry Gledhill out in front, the Oakwood Transport 14. Good solid run for him, as they're trying to get all 3 of the Bar Motorsports cars into the A main tonight. Hill takes back the 2nd spot around Teal in that Enrium Dynamics Dixieland Grill number 14T.
Alan Downey was talking about 2 distinct grooves. Watch Jordan Hill and Noel Teal for an entire lap. They are not going anywhere near each other, but turning almost identical times. Noel Teal down to the bottom. She comes off the corner, almost halfway up the racetrack, but not quite. Jordan Hill never comes lower than halfway down the racetrack, and they're basically been side by side lap after lap, Greg.
Yeah, Hill edges ahead down the back stretch, and it's amazing how 2 drivers can run 2 separate lines and be so close to one another. You would think the bottom, obviously the quick way around, but when you're on that outside line, you can keep it wound up, have higher speeds, and then they get on the straightaway, and all of a sudden they're back together again.
Fantastic side-by-side racing, and I believe they're closing in on the race leader, Larry Gledhill.
Gledhill has led since the drop of the green flag in this one. Out in front, he's down in corner number 3 just as this battle enters the third corner. Noelle Teal on the bottom has the advantage now over Hill at the line. She'll take second. Hill right now third. Fourth is the battle between Matt Hill and Johnny Miller.
Looks like Gledhill has things sorted out there. Although Noelle Teal last time by was 0.3 of a second faster. This time by a little bit slower than the race leader Gledhill.
This time by, it should be 2 laps left to go for Larry Gledhill out of Thamesford, Ontario. He'll cross the stripe over Noelle Teal and Jordan Hill. Johnny Miller and Matt Hill have gone back and forth, put Miller back into the 4th position.
Yeah, Miller took that spot back, and he seems to be driving away from Matt Hill for the time being. White flag gonna fly over the field. One more lap to go in our final B main of the night.
All Larry Gledhill's been very strong here in this B main. He's set and ready to go if he can finish these final 2 corners and lock himself into the A main. So Larry Gledhill picks up the checkered flag over Noelle Teal. Third at the line will be Jordan Hill. Then it's Johnny Miller, Matt Hill, Keegan Baker, and Ken Hamilton.
Ken Hamilton with a bit of a problem out there in the 69. He's well off the pace coming off of turn number 4. But he'll get across the line to take that checkered flag. And that'll put an end to his night. So we're going to bring the Thunderstocks down here on the front straightaway. And then we're going to introduce to you the starting lineup for the Brock Leonard Memorial 50-lap feature event. Should be real quick to get the car staged on the front stretch.
Strickland's pace truck leads the field down here on the front stretch, and we'll get them all set and ready to go. A long race, and obviously all those different winners. Not a repeat winner yet tells you how challenging this race is. It's not just the competitors, it's the race itself. In 50 laps, sometimes it's just battling the car to get it to hold out for the entire 50 laps for some drivers.
Not sure how they set the starting lineup, but Dave Bailey quite a ways back in that 49 machine. As soon as we get the go-ahead from race director Doug Leonard, we'll let you know how the field's going to line up. Rolling off 24th out of West Lorne, Ontario, then 65, it is John Dunn. On the inside of row number 12 from Ohsweken, the 24 is Blake Bombury Jr. Starting 22nd from Port Robinson, the 108 is Zach Bleach. Starting 21st from Welland, the 05 is Pete Reed. On the outside of row number 10, in the 28 from Caister Center, it's Jim Lampman. And on the inside of that row from Port Colborne, the 7X is Dave Small. Starting 18th from Ransomville, New York, in the number 10, it's Jaron Israel. And starting 17th from Ohsweken, the 3 is Cameron Thompson. Starting 16th from Caister Center, the 28D is Donnie Lampman. And starting 15th from Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus. Starting 14th from Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. Starting 13th from Caister Center, the 41 is Adam Plazik. Starting 12th from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Lazinga. Starting 11th from Hagersville, the 49 is Dave Bailey. Now, race fans, your top 10. Starting 10th from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. Starting 9th in the 32 from Canfield, it's Mark Fawcett. Starting 8th from Hamilton, the 25 is Ken Sargent. Starting 7th from Victoria, the 84 RK, it's the big dog, Ryan Beagle. On the outside of row number 3 from Guelph, the 79 is Christopher Hale. Starting 5th from Belleville, the 03, Justin Ramsey. Starting 4th in the 53 from Jerseyville, Logan Schwedick. Starting 3rd from Caledonia, the 55 is Mike Thorne. Now, race fans, your front row on the outside of row number 1 from Binbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. And on the bowl out of Hagersville, in the 23, it's Trevor DeBoer.
Thanks, Adam. As you know, this is a difficult night for a lot of our staff here. This race is in memory of Brock Leonard. Brock was one of our first pit stewards here and the father of our very own Doug Leonard. Brock was a fan of little guys, and that's why we have this race for the Thunderstocks in Brock's honor. It's prestigious for these drivers, and they know what it means to win this race. They've come from far wide today to put on a show for Brock and all you fine fans. So we'll ask you now for a moment of silence in honor of Brock Star as we get ready to go racing. If you know Brock, he'd be saying enough messing around on my behalf. And race fans, we need you to give us a nice, rousing, drivers start your engines when we count down from 3. How about you give it to us in honor of Brock Leonard? 3, 2, 1, drivers start your engines!
Field comes to life and ready to go. 50 laps in the Instapanels Duel on the Dirt combined race for the Brock Leonard Memorial. And I think we did have one late addition. I believe Kyle Andrus is taking the place of Pete Reed. I don't see Pete Reed out there, obviously, with the heavy smoke from the 05. Not risking 50 laps with that machine, so Kyle Andrus tags on to the tail end of this one.
Well, the talk of the night, there has been no repeat winner. Drivers with the opportunity to do so are starting all together in 5th, 6th, and 7th spots. It's Ryan Beagle, Justin Ramsey, and Christopher Hale. Who's got the best shot at it, boys?
Boy, oh boy, that's tough. And
I got to go with Beagle. He's been running so good. He's come to the front on these races before. I think he may be the one to watch, guys.
Funny, I was going to say Christopher Hale, and not just because Clint just picked Ryan Beagle, but he's been hooked up, and he's done it before. Obviously, Ryan Beagle has as well, but the way Christopher Hale's been the last couple of weeks, I think it's his turn.
Well, I'm going to go different. Mike Thorne's about to pick up his first win of 2022.
Wouldn't be a bad pick at all for Mike Thorne. And boy, what a better way to break that winless streak.
As always, an impressive field of cars with Duel on the Dirt events. 24 cars start the race. They don't get much better than this as we look back through this field. Race winners from front to back, and race fans, they're going to salute you 4 wide.
Yeah, they don't get a chance to do this very often, so we're going to get you, the fans, get on your feet and wave these drivers on. They like going 4 wide. And let's show them some appreciation. Wave your hat, a program, whatever you got, and send these drivers on as they cruise behind the Strickland Pace truck. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the 50-lap Brock Leonard Memorial.
Now, Greg, let's play Who's Missing. Blake Bomberry? No, he's out there.
As we look back and forth.
Yeah, that's painstaking.
Now, Kyle Andrus was supposed to be out there, so it is Pete Reed that's missing. My apologies. Kyle Andrus is scheduled in the 15th spot. So it is just Pete Reed that is missing. He's the odd man out. So I was thinking Andrus was taking the spot, but Andrus instead has decided to go to the back of the pack.
Next time out of turn number 4, Trevor DeBoer in the 23. And Tim Phelan in the 427 going to bring the field to green for 50 laps.
Green lights go on, and here we go. 50 laps the distance at the Brock Leonard Memorial. Trevor DeBoer on the inside, Tim Phelan on the outside, and they're already fanning out 3 and 4 wide through the pack.
Christopher Hale with a big move right off the start to the high side, and that's 79, although, oh, it might have gone too high there in turn number 3.
Here they come off the corner, 3 wide. Justin Ramsey down on the bottom side. Good to see him here tonight. Now they'll make it 4 wide with Ryan Beagle down to the inside of the 0-3. Chris Hale shoots around the outside of that mess and gets the 4th spot.
Even with 50 laps being the distance, there's just no time to waste for these drivers because they know if you let someone like Ryan Beagle, almost anybody, get out front, right now it's Trevor DeBoer and get away, it's hard to close that gap.
Christopher Hale on the move. He'll take 3rd away from Mike Thorne as he works behind the 427. Some tight, close racing there. Thorne and Beagle right now had some close calls down at corner number 3. Mark Fawcett's in the thick of this. So many good cars and all starting towards the front in this one tonight.
Yeah, there's not a lot of ripping through the field going on because fast cars are at the front, towards the middle. They're all over the place, but right now it's Trevor DeBoer in the 23 doing what he wants to do, and that's lead the way. He's got whatever line he wants to run out there on the racetrack. No pressure yet for Trevor DeBoer. Oh, trouble for Dave Bailey in the 49.
Wow. And off the track he goes.
What a shame. We should mention tonight is brought to you by Jibs. Jibs hosted a number of people. I believe Mark said there was 45 people or so coming for a barbecue. And folks, if you want to do any online shopping, go on to the Jibs website and use the promo code Big O. Promo code Big O is going to get you 10% off this weekend at Jibs as a thank you to the great fans of Ohsweken Speedway.
Have a look here on the replay.
Something just went wrong with the Bailey 49. That car didn't even come close to turning.
And of course, look who was right there.
Yeah.
Mike Thorne.
Guys, we're getting a report that Dave did not even stop at his pit stall. So just cruised in. The crew waved him right back out.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Well, something was wrong with the car, and he pulled it to the pits right away. I don't see him back out. I see Brian Halliwell waving him back out here in turn number 3.
Yeah, he's coming.
Now, who is Dave Bailey's pit crew?
That's a good question. I believe it would be Mark Zuba and the boys.
winning 50-50 amount tonight, $1,296.
I almost wonder if the steering wheel didn't come off that 49. Like, what else could it be?
Well, there's a good chance we might get to talk to Dave still. 46 laps to go. We've seen him come from the back many times in 1/3 of the amount of time he's got left. So we'll see what happens.
He made significant contact with the 55 of Mike Thorne.
I also see a nose problem on the Mark Fawcett 32. The left side is dragging, and they just come over the officials' radar and said, watch it. The fourth car on the inside has half the bumper hanging down.
Green goes back in the air. Trevor DeBoer leads them down the front stretch into corner number 1.
Oh, and that's not a fender. That's the front bumper. And I just got a note from Spencer Rydell saying that Fawcett and Bailey hooked going into turn number 1. That would make sense. That would explain why the 49 car didn't turn. But we'll keep an eye on that 32 of Fawcett. That is a big projectile if he runs that bumper over.
5 laps on the board here in the Leonard Memorial. It's been all Trevor DeBoer so far. Here comes Chris Hale working that outside line. He's up to second. Ryan Beagle third. Phelan back to fourth. And through all that excursion, Mike Thorne got collected in that bump and run there by Dave Bailey, and it pushed him back, and now he's outside of the top 5 and holding on to a top 10.
He was too close to the front anyhow. He had to go back a little bit and work his way back up just for dramatic fashion. See, he's going back even further.
Ryan Beagle now slips to the inside of Chris Hale, trying to get that second spot away. Hale has a good run to the outside. He'll take the second spot back as they go down into corner number 1.
He just changed 5 lanes on the front stretch to close the door on Ryan Beagle as Justin Ramsey shoots up the racetrack in turn number 2. That opens the door to Phelan and Fawcett.
Good 3-car battle there through the corner. Behind that, we see Ken Sargent, Adam Plazik, and Jaron Israel also going 3 wide as they cross the stripe. Meanwhile, Chris Hale's got that second spot over Ryan Beagle. We see them work off of corner 2.
Trevor DeBoer still holding everybody off. He's opened up another gap, about 8 or 10 car lengths over Hale and Beagle. We haven't even seen DeBoer much in victory lane this year. It's been all Beagle, Bailey, and a lot of Mark Fawcett.
Yeah, it's not been a year for the podium for Trevor DeBoer yet, but here he is with a good solid run early on in this one. And this is what we're used to seeing from the 23, and just hasn't been able to turn it out just yet in that Mert Timson Auto 23, but he's got it hooked up tonight in the first 10 laps. But still 40 to go, and Justin Ramsey now working the outside on Ryan Beagle for third.
Dave Bailey trying to work his way through the field. He's got himself into the top 20, but not a whole lot further than that. Right now he's wedged between Kenny Sargent and Jaron Israel in 3 and 4.
Ramsey continues on that outside line. Beagle joins him, and now he'll close the gap. The 0-3 of Ramsey to the outside of the right rear of Chris Hale. Here comes Belleville, Ontario's Justin Ramsey, former winner, alongside another former winner in Christopher Hales. They go down to corner number 1. He was second at the line.
Ramsey really starting to turn it up there in that 0-3. He pulls away from Chris Hale in the 79. Now Hale going to go up and run that same line. Ryan Beagle has moved up there. Trevor DeBoer still a car width or so lower. Well, a lot lower there in 1 and 2 is Cameron Thompson with problems in the number 3. He's going to wheel it off the racetrack in turn number 2, and we're about to have a battle for the lead.
I was about to say, Trevor DeBoer is about to see the first pressure he's had so far in these first, make it 14 laps. This time by Justin Ramsey. Is there a car length off of the back end of the 23 down in corner number 1? He's really got it hooked up on that outside line.
Trevor DeBoer's been running that same line lap in and lap out. He's hitting his marks every time. Not sure what the 23's got really, because he hasn't had to push it any harder than he is. But he's probably about to hear the 0-3 of Justin Ramsey out there as Ramsey closes in on the right rear corner of the 23 machine. I believe he'll show his nose this time as they head down into 3.
Trevor DeBoer In that number 23 machine, the 03, Justin Ramsey, Brighton Speedway regular on the outside of the 23. Here he comes charging on that outside line. Will he get the run he needs off of 2 this time and drop alongside DeBoer? Here they go down the backstretch. DeBoer still with the advantage.
And Trevor DeBoer's using as much racetrack as he's entitled to. Last time he came off the corner 4 and went right up towards the wall, left enough room just for a car width. This time he left quite a bit of room there for Justin Ramsey. They're going to close in on some slower traffic. Don't think it'll cause too much of an issue, just one car.
John Dunn right in front of them as they come across the line this time by. It'll be 32 laps left to go. Trevor DeBoer, Justin Ramsey, Ryan Beagle, then it's Chris Hale, Mark Fawcett, your top 5. And guess what? Dave Bailey's already just outside the top 5. Up to 7th now.
Ramsey closed right up to Trevor DeBoer. He's not been able to make a move, though. He got as close as about the right rear tire of the 23 machine. That's as far as he's gotten. Ryan Beagle closing into the fray as we've got a yellow. Adam Plazik down in turn number 3 along with Mike Thorne. Plazik pointed the wrong direction and Thorne is parked there as part of the situation as well.
So 19 in, 31 to go. Clint?
Thorne able to back this 55 car up off the wall with the pesky Penguin machine. He's able to get it back in gear and drive it away. We'll see what's up with the Adam Plazik 41 car. He looks like his car's fired up. He'll be ready to back off as well. Don't see any issues with the 41 here. He's just waiting for traffic to go and he'll back up. Both cars able to put it in gear and drive away, guys.
And you really can't, normally you can look at a car and see what's damaged on it and think, okay, that's what happened. With Mike Thorne, there's already damage on every corner.
So a bit of a breather here for the field with 19 in, 31 left to go. And this time as we get back to the green flag, let's get a Quick fired up in. Our good friends at Quick Fire Starter, of course, bringing the Quick Hot Lap Challenge on Monday night for the NASCAR Pinty Series.
Well, they've been keeping an eye on the Fawcett 32 nose. The bumper is solidly in place, but bent down, almost dragging, but not quite. So they're keeping an eye on it. He'll restart from position number 5. We'll see if Spencer can give us a look here as he comes by our position in 3 and 4. But yeah, the nose bent down the Fawcett, but looks like they can fix this one. Won't be able to fix it now, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. The bumper's still hanging in, guys.
Let's go to a Quick fire it up. We had some drivers gaining positions deeper in the pack.
That's right. Doug immediately came on, said, guys, come on. You got to be better at the back. No jumping spots. Through it. We'll go yellow here.
The nose on Mark Fawcett's car just looks hungry. It's got the mouth open.
It hasn't moved, though.
No.
It was precariously positioned there, but it really hasn't gone anywhere.
I want to know what the fans think the odds should have been on all 3 of you guys eating salads up there today, because I am shocked that that went on today.
Well, Raising the Bar, doing a fine job of feeding me healthy food on Friday nights, and decided to generously bring some extra. She knew it was the Brock Leonard Memorial, so she brought some food up for Doug Leonard and knew that Darren and Greg would be hungry as well, so very generous.
All right, we'll give it take 2 for a quick fire it up. The sights and sounds of the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks here in this Instapanels duel on the dirt combined race as we see Dunn head to the pit area. Here we go, a quick fire it up on lap 19. goes around and puts us under the caution flag once again. One more lap clicked off on that one, so 30 to go.
How about this, guys? In 16 laps, Dave Bailey passed 16 cars already and finds himself in 5th place just like that with damage behind the right rear.
Chris Hale takes that car pit side. I believe he had a flat right rear tire on the 79. I didn't see that happen, Greg. Did you?
No, I didn't. No. Neither did our camera operators. They were.
Reports are all tires were up on the Hale car, guys. He went in the pit, so not sure what's wrong with him. Maybe just realized he'd be starting in the back, let the crew have a quick look at it. We'll see if Hale makes his return back to the speedway here.
Ryan Beagle with some damage behind the right front. Fawcett with some damage. Bailey with some damage. New race leader, it's Justin Ramsey in the 03. Looked to me as though Trevor DeBoer, once Ramsey got around, drove a little bit harder into the corners, and that did not help the handling on the 23. Kind of got up into the slick. We'll see if he's able to fight back on Justin Ramsey, one of the only visitors here tonight.
Yeah, one of the other drivers I thought for sure was going to be a threat was Pete Reed, obviously, but with the mechanical problems, that keeps him out of the A main tonight. But he would have been another one of those non-regulars who was in contention for the big win tonight.
Ryan Beagle up the inside of Trevor DeBoer in the 84 machine. He'll look to take over the second spot. He's got Dave Bailey right on his back bumper.
Justin Ramsey out in front, Beagle, and then it's side by side with Bailey and DeBoer. Kyle Wirt has quietly been up there all night just around the top 5. He's got a feature win this year, and he's someone I wouldn't count out of it by any stretch of the imagination. He knows how to get it done here. Not yet a Brock Leonard winner, but definitely capable of pulling one off. And how about Jim Lampman? Good to see him up right behind Mark Fawcett.
It's been a hit and miss kind of season for Jim Lampman in the 28 machine as Mike Lazinga narrowly avoids Dave Small going into turn number 3.
Dave Bailey gets by on the bottom side. He's to the second spot. Ryan Beagle there back in third. Trevor DeBoer hanging right now with the top 3. Kyle Wirt running in the 5th spot. It's all Justin Ramsey, and those tuning in from the Brighton area, I'm sure, pulling for their hometown driver.
Man, Kyle Wirt is looking sporty there in that 19 machine. The deeper we get into this race, the quicker he looks. So Beagle and Wirt running the outside, Bailey and DeBoer running the inside. Justin Ramsey out in front by nearly half a straightaway in that 03 machine.
Halfway done in this Brock Leonard Memorial. Justin Ramsey, Dave Bailey, and Ryan Beagle right now the top 3. Trevor DeBoer, Kyle Wirt, 4th and 5th. Then it's that battle between Mark Fawcett and Jim Lampman, 6th and 7th. Ron Logie, 8th, 9th is Logan Schwedek, and 10th, Tim Phelan. Then we've got Donnie Lampman, and then Dave Small back there.
It's getting pretty dicey back there with Mike Lazinga, Adam Plazik just mixing it up, and they're right in the middle of a big pack, so everyone having to take evasive action, but that's a lot of fun to watch right now because out in front, Justin Ramsey is having his way with this one for the time being.
Ramsey sends it through corner number 3 as we follow along with the top 3, make it 4 down there to the inside of the drone shot as Trevor DeBoer is closely followed by Kyle Wirt. 28 laps go up on the board.
Adam Plazik to the inside of Zach Bleach. Bleach trying to close the door on the 41, but Plazik there, and they're just going to pound the hell out of each other in 1 and 2.
Zach Bleach will keep going somehow, and we stay green as next time around will be to lap 30 here on the Brock Leonard Memorial.
Hard, clean racing up at the front. Not quite that situation at the back of the field.
Christopher Hale trying to work his way through some of this traffic. He's Got by Jaron Israel, now trying to get by Dave Small, and if he can clear Small, he'd get out of this pack and have a chance to track down that lead group. Well, I guess you'd call that Group 1B because they've got some distance now between themselves. Jim Lampman, who's riding in the 6th spot, has lost touch with Kyle Wirt up there in 5th.
Yeah, it's like pack racing right now. Justin Ramsey about to close in on a big old pack of lap traffic. 19 laps remain in this one.
As the Dunn machine comes back out, John Dunn. Leaders into lap traffic. Justin Ramsey right behind Kyle Andrus. He'll work by him down the backstretch as we watch Dave Bailey now and Ryan Beagle at it. Beagle gets back by on the bottom for the 2nd spot.
So impressive to watch Justin Ramsey driving away, but this is really going to be the measure of that race car as he closes in behind some fairly quick cars, aggressive cars. Zach Bleach and Mike Thorne racing side by side just in front of the race leader.
Justin Ramsey trying to become that driver that's the first to get 2 Brock Leonard Memorials. He's sailing through the lap traffic, doing a nice job right now. Gets by Bleach and Mike Thorne. Next up for him, Ken Sargent, Adam Plazik.
And all those cars running the bottom, that's nowhere near the line Justin Ramsey's running. So this is a perfect situation for him until he gets up to where Blake Bomberry is, Dave Small, Jaron Israel. That'll be a different story for the race leader as he squeezes past Adam Plazik between Plazik and the outside concrete.
Rolls it off of corner number 4 to the outside of Bomberry Jr. Ooh, that was close.
Getting pretty narrow at points out there for Justin Ramsey, so he'll go to the outside of Bomberry, try to turn it underneath the 10 of Jaron Israel. So this is not where Ramsey's been running all night long. He kind of has to go away from the line that got him to the front of the field. He gets by Jaron Israel, immediately moves back to the outside.
It's got to be frustrating. You're in such a good rhythm out in front, and then the lap traffic hits, and you've got to change up those marks you've been hitting lap after lap. So far, he's done it to perfection as he's got 4, make it 5 lap cars between he and Ryan Beagle.
It's the nature of dirt racing. A little bit further back, fantastic battle. Mark Fawcett, Ron Logie, and both Jim and Donnie Lampman. So we watch Ryan Beagle trying to work through that same lap traffic that Justin Ramsey got through. It seems like they've closed ranks there in front of the 84 RK.
Ryan Beagle down to the inside of Dave Small, and if he can get by him, then it will be clear sailing to the leader, who's got Mike Klazinga ahead of him, and then John Dunn in the 65. This time by, it's 10 laps left to go for Justin Ramsey.
Man, oh man, Dave Bailey trying to work through that pack of traffic as well. Like I say, it's like a swarm of bees. Justin Ramsey got through there when he had to widen out. Like Dave Bailey had to take it 3 wide, almost 4 wide in turn 2 to get through that traffic.
Rolling off of corner number 4 is Dave Bailey as he's working through this lap traffic. Dave Small to the outside of him. And he's lost touch with Ryan Beagle. Now as the caution flag comes out, Ron Logie stopped up in corner number 4. Wow, and Mike Klazinga made some evasive action moves there, and it was right in front of Justin Ramsey, who had an oh moment.
Keeps Mike Klazinga on the lead lap with 42 laps complete. We'll go back to 41 laps complete. Let's give you a field rundown as Ron Logie with a flat right front tire. Justin Ramsey leads the way in the 03 84 RK. Ryan Beagle is second. Dave Bailey is third in the 49. Then it's the 19 of Kyle Wirt and the 23 of Trevor DeBoer rounding out the top 5. 6th through 10th, it's Jim Lampman in the 28, Mark Fawcett in the 32, Donnie Lampman in the 28D, Chris Hale in the 79, and the 53 of Logan Schwedick. Tim Phelan runs 11th in the 427. 12th, it's the 93K of Mike Klazinga. Then behind the 12th spot, they are all at least a lap down. Ron Logie, Dave Small, Jaron Israel. Blake Bombury Jr., Adam Plazik, Ken Sargent, Zach Bleach, Mike Thorne, Kyle Andrus. All of those cars, all the way back to 21st, are just one lap down. Fang and Claw are enjoying the show.
They were duking it out down there while the green flag was on.
Huh.
Who's the tougher one? Fang or Claw? Who's tougher? Oh, they're discussing things. Who's tougher? Ah, they're not.
Neither.
Listening.
They're lovers, not fighters.
Oh, you should have seen them. Blink. Please blink. It's scaring me. Why don't mascots blink?
Well, good question. What's the movie I'm trying to think of? It was kind of a spoof like Airplane, but they had to get into a cow costume. And one was the head and one was the tail. It's not.
Sounds like an episode of Race Rivals.
It's not Top Gun. What the
Hey.
heck? Top Secret. Top Secret? I can't even repeat what they say, but it's really funny.
Well, come on, Clint. We know which end Adam is.
I was just going to say, we all know what the hind end is. We know who's the brains and who's the butt in this relationship, right, Adam?
I suppose.
Right, Adam?
I suppose. Oh, dear. 1 to go. It'll be a 9-lap shootout. Top 2 cars have won this race before. Behind them, nobody else in the top 10, with the exception of Chris Hale in that 79. So we've got a shot at a first-time winner, but those top 2 have been so very fast.
Well, Beagle's been showing he can close these races out well now. Has he saved enough to go after Ramsey here? Ramsey, the most recent winner here. His name was on for the last time, so here we go.
That's got to feel good to be able to come to this racetrack, one of the most competitive places there is, and beat our regulars.
Yeah. Speaks volumes as to how good Justin Ramsey is, and here he goes back on it with 9 laps left to go, back upstairs where he's been getting it done all night long. Ryan Beagle, Dave Bailey giving chase on the bottom.
Bailey was really hounding Beagle to the inside that time in 1 and 2. In fact, Beagle goes to the high side. Kyle Wirt with a problem in the 19.
It was 4 wide back there for a moment. Chris Hale, Mark Fawcett, and also Trevor DeBoer in the mix there as they straighten things out. Now they're 2x2 behind Fawcett from 5th on back.
No surprise at all. We're getting down towards the end of the race, and Mark Fawcett making a late push to get onto the podium. He runs in the 4th spot right now, but here comes Jim Lampman in the 28 making a run on the high side.
Yeah, he's been good all night looking for a top 5, and boy, well deserved if he can get it tonight for Jim Lampman to the outside of Chris Hale as they work through corner 3. And good story for Chris Hale to come back. He's had Dave Bailey, of course, as well. Lots of good stories in this one.
You're not kidding. Kyle Wirt lost a bunch of ground. He looks to be up to speed there in the 19 machine, but that was not a good restart. Out in front is Justin Ramsey. 5 laps to go this time. Ramsey gets a little squirrely into 3.
The big high five as Ramsey comes across the line. Beagle right behind him. Dave Bailey in that 3rd spot. 5 more trips around, and it's Beagle throwing everything he has at Justin Ramsey just to reel him in.
Ryan Beagle just turned his fastest lap of the race.
4 to go. Ramsey right tight up against the wall as he comes off the corner. Beagle staying in his tire tracks. He's 1 car length off that rear deck lid. Dave Bailey losing sight of the top 2.
Look at Ryan Beagle close the distance. He throws that car into the turn, gets up there and leans on the cushion, able to get a big drive down the hill. Justin Ramsey, it looks like he's hanging on for dear life at corner exit, Greg.
Yellow flag is out. 1 around again. It's Chris Hale. Wow. Rough night for the driver of the 79. So it puts us back under the caution flag now with 3 laps left.
Yeah, for the last 3 to 4 laps there, Chris Hale and Jim Lampman were throwing shots and elbows at each other. Not sure if that was the end of it for Hale. His car was a bit out of shape, but they did get together a few times, guys. Did not see the end of that one, though.
Spirited battles throughout this one. Clint, can you imagine lap 46 for Ryan Beagle was his fastest lap of the race?
I can. That's why Greg and I picked him as our winner tonight. But, you know, Bailey has been running so good at the end of these races lately. It's almost like he peaks at the right time. And maybe tonight might be that again.
Could be. There's still some racing left to go, and there's a lot of drivers out there who would love to capitalize if these leaders get mixing it up.
Look at that moon tonight. Right behind the grandstand.
3 races to go. 3 laps to go in this one.
Now, apparently, if you look at the moon, is tonight the night that Saturn's right behind it? There's also supposed to be a meteor shower. It's supposed to be the best night of the year to see this big meteor shower. And if you look...
Don't. Just stop. Don't. We don't need to hear any other planet names, and especially those that start with you.
I just started saying to Spencer, tell Adam we can see.
Oh.
All the camera guys are laughing, and you're like, no. You can tell me and Adam have the both mind of a 5-year-old.
I can't believe you shut me down.
Let's keep this G-rated G-force.
Listen, how many planets are there?
Just talking
I don't
science,
even know
Greg.
anymore.
What's your problem?
That's right.
They keep dropping. Didn't they get rid of a planet?
Yeah, Uranus, right?
What?
Oh, Pluto. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
It was debatable. Single file restart. 3 laps remain.
Ramsey, Beagle, and Bailey. Jim Lampman right there in that 4th spot. He's right in the thick of it.
Beagle comes down the banking just a little bit through 1 and 2. Ramsey gets a good run down the backstretch where he closes in. Beagle really driving it deep into turn number 3. 2 laps to go.
Wow, what a battle up front. The top 3 all right there. Jim Lampman, who would have thought he'd be right there in the midst of this with 2 laps left to go. Beagle edges ahead. Ramsey on the outside. Wheel to wheel into corner 3.
That inside lane is no man's land. Beagle drives it down deep, gets the car rotated, hammer down on the front stretch. Ramsey back to the lead with 1 to go.
Final time through corners 1 and 2. Down to the bottom goes Ryan Beagle. Bailey right behind him. Beagle really got sideways in the corner. Ramsey pulls away.
Justin Ramsey out in front on the high side. Beagle drives it deep down low. Who's it gonna be out of turn number 4? Justin Ramsey takes the Brock Leonard Memorial. Ryan Beagle 2nd. Dave Bailey 3rd. Then it's Jim Lampman, Mark Fawcett, Donnie Lampman, Trevor DeBoer, Logan Schwedick, Ron Logie with Kyle Wirt rounding out the top 10. Ryan Beagle had a great run. He bobbled there in turn number 2. That cost him his shot.
Justin Ramsey, boy oh boy, first ever 2-time winner of the Brock Leonard Memorial, comes in and beats all the hometown drivers. What a great job by Justin Ramsey. Ryan Beagle pulls up alongside him. We'll talk to him and Dave Bailey as well down in Quick Victory Lane.
Well, the win was written in the stars tonight for Justin Ramsey. Or was it? Spencer got it.
Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky to celebrate the win by Justin Ramsey, his 2nd Brock Leonard Memorial over Ryan Beagle and Dave Bailey. And we'll draw the 50-50 down in Victory Lane right now. Again, it's $1,296 to the winner tonight. Let's head down to Victory Lane with Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot, guys. He will be the one who puts his name on it for the 2nd time. How about it? Justin Ramsey gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. Justin, it's always a great win when you come to Ohsweken, one of the toughest places in Canada, grab a win here and beat our regulars. And these guys, you know how tough they are. But you're tough when you come to town, too.
Oh, for sure. I've been watching every week, though. The live stream's awesome, and you get to see where everybody runs every week and where it seems like it's coming in. We worked real hard on this car this week to make sure it would run on the top, and well, I think we got it.
Let's talk about your drive. You know, Ryan was coming at you at the end. Those last couple yellows gave him a shot at it. Did you know how close he actually was? You must have seen him at one point.
I seen him there on the last caution, or after the last caution there. I was kind of just looking at the sky, not really paying attention. I'm like, oh, I didn't see anybody underneath me yet, and then he pretty well was past me. So I had to put the pedal down, and we worked it out.
Right on. Justin Ramsey grabs another. Brock Leonard, 50-lap Memorial. Let's get over here and talk to Ryan Beagle. Well, Big Dog, you've been in these races. You won them before. Still a solid payday. Great points night here for you because Justin is not in the regular points, so you'll pick up the most points here at home. Tell us about your drive, bud.
Yeah, it was fun. Justin's really good at running the top, and I tried hanging with him. I think we were catching him a little there at the end, but I don't know how I'd have passed him. So good run for him, and I just want to give a shout out to Nathan at Ackland Insurance. They come on board this thing. It's much appreciated.
Right on. Ryan Beagle with another solid run here. We'll get over here and talk to third place Dave Bailey. Come on in here. Who's going to draw this? Just watch out this puddle. Dave, pull it 50-50 before we talk to you first, and we can try and grab a winner here. You want to read the number? I'll read the number. 88702, 88702 for $12.96. Come on down, claim at the flag stand. Dave, a solid run for you tonight. You know, obviously you want to be a couple steps up, but you know, anytime you're here at the end, it's a good deal. You'll end up with a good points night. What a heck of a battle from the back, man. You see on lap 4, you were in the pits, had a long way to go.
Yeah, it's a different track again tonight, and all the best of the best cars here. So third place is pretty good, coming from back through there, and Ramsey's always strong when he comes here, and then Beagle's up here again too, so usual suspects, I guess. We're just third this time.
They're really making you up your game, Dave. Anything you can do to keep your dominance here?
I think we're doing all right. Just can't win them all. Those guys are pretty good, and everybody has their day.
Quickly, let's talk about your Pinty's car and the ride coming up Tuesday, the big show, practice on Monday. How you feeling about that?
We ran decent, and it all depends on what the racetrack does. I guess I kind of had it figured out on Tuesday, whatever day we were here, and I think in the same racetrack when we come back, so we'll start over and see how we do.
Right on. Watch Dave Bailey go in the Pinty's 100 here on Tuesday. How about him for your top 3? Third place, Dave Bailey. Second place, Ryan Beagle. And your winner tonight, Justin Ramsey, gets it done. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV for our HRW Automotive Mini Stock feature.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rear-view mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Back live on Jib's Action Sports Night here at Ohsweken Speedway. Ready to go. 3 more features left. HRW Automotive Mini Stocks are up first. And starting on the pole out of Ohsweken, the 188, that's Paul Longboat. To his outside from Guelph, car number 1, Jason Tolton. Starting in third from Caledonia, it's the Pinball, Mike Iverson. In car number 11, to his outside, the Gibbs Action Sport 01 from Waterdown, Tristan De Silva. Going from the 5th spot from Linden, the 11E, that's Jeff Elslager. And to the outside from Stratford, the 54, that's Christopher French. Ashton Dickey from Brantford lines up 7th in car number 1A. And Dusty DeBoer alongside him goes from the 8th spot. He's from Hagersville in the 23. Going 9th, he's got a feature win this year. Eric York from Smithville in the 51. And his outside also from Smithville in the 6X, it's Mike Sirentakos. Going 11th, Nico Hansen from Beamsville in the 27. Jeremy Hughes alongside from Burlington, the 10J. He starts 12th. 13th starting position is Fabio Oliveri. He has a win this year as well. He's from Ancaster in the 16. And alongside him, starting 14th out of York, car number 9 is Tim DeBoer. Going 15th, it's Martin Schroeder from Beachville in the 60. To his outside, Matt Newell out of Hamilton in car number 2. Ryan Hiller starts 17th from New Hamburg in the 21H. Wade Thorne to his outside from Waterford in the 4. Tyler LaFantasy has the most wins this year. He's the point leader. He's from Thorold in the 96. He goes 19th. Sean Taylor to his outside in the 46 from Burlington. Goes 20th. 21st, Jason Coutu from St. Catharines. 22nd, Rob Twitchett out of Cambridge to be main winner. Nick Erskine goes 23rd. Jeff Earl 24th. Mike Evers 25th. Steve Miller 26th. Braden Cuse 27th. And Broden Weiler 28th. As we get ready to go 15 laps for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, and off they go into corner 1.
You got them all in. Out in front, Longboat into 1 and 2, goes up the racetrack, pushes Jason Tolton almost to the parking lot. Yellow flag is out. Sean Taylor is around in the 46. So Sean Taylor is driving a car prepared by the Thorns. The Thorns have the 46 available as a rental car. It is sold out for the rest of the year. Now, where did I save this picture? That's not it. There it is. There is a contract you have to sign if you're going to race the Thorn number 46. Remember, Wade Thorne drives a number 4. You must sign your name on 3 different areas. The Thorn Racing contract. I agree to send it. Sean Taylor signed. I agree to not wreck the 4 car. Sean Taylor signed. I agree to have fun even if the car gets wadded up. Sean Taylor signs, and so does one of the Thorns. Seems like a reasonable contract.
Hey, why wouldn't you want to do it with those terms? Green flag again, take 2 for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Point leader Tyler LaFantasy has a lot of work to do as, the 211s connect. Giverson up into Elslager, and things straighten out. They're 4 wide behind them.
That worked out well for Tristan De Silva. He gets out front. I believe Jason Tolton might be a little bit irritated with Longboat. Gave him a little bump in turn number 4.
And they were 5 wide coming out of corner number 4 down there. Got some sort of debris down there in 1.
Tolton all sorts of sideways as he pitches that car in turn number 1 to make a run at the leader. He'll take the advantage into turn number 3, slide up in front of Paul Longboat.
Jason Tolton, your leader over Longboat. Then it's Dusty DeBoer, Tristan De Silva, and Jeff Elslager, the top 5. As they run through 1 and 2 another time. 2 laps on the board.
3 cars battling for that second spot. 23 is Dusty DeBoer trying to wedge up the middle as Tristan De Silva to the outside. Paul Longboat as Jason Tolton gets out of shape all by himself in the lead.
There was about 3 accidents that didn't happen right there as Tolton himself nearly spun, and then the 3 wide. And even in behind that, they were sideways as they come down the backstretch. Longboat gets shuffled out.
Drivers making big moves right now. Jeremy Hughes in the 10. Fabio Oliveri in the 16. They've passed a lot of race cars.
4 laps down, 11 to go here for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. The point leader still in the thick of it. Tyler LaFantasy outside of the top 10 as he's trying to find the right hole to take. Right now he squeezes between Ryan Hiller and Nico Hansen.
Towards the front of the field, Jeremy Hughes drives to the inside of Tristan De Silva to battle for the second spot. Fabio Oliveri still working the extreme inside of the racetrack. He's in fifth. Fourth is DeBoer. Oh, they're going to squeeze Wade Thorne. Rubbing up against the wall to get to the outside of Jeff Elsliger and Fabio Oliveri.
Jason Tolton out in front. Tristan De Silva had a handful that time off of corner number 4. Jeremy Hughes, and he made contact now as Mike Sarantakos goes off the track up in corner number 1, backs it up towards the fence. And I think he may come to a stop. Yes, he will, and that'll bring us another caution flag.
Did you see Jason Tolton almost loop it, leading by about 10 car lengths coming off at turn number 4?
And then behind that, it was 3 cars wide, all kind of going for the same real estate, and I thought they were going to crash at the same time. Wow.
It's like watching the hell drivers out there. They're 3 wide, but taking up the space of 1 car. Contact between Ryan Hiller and Mike Sarantakos led Sarantakos up the racetrack. 6 laps into this 15-lap main event. We can see the ROC Sportsman cars lined up on the go-kart track out back. They're ready for their 30-lap feature event.
White flag out, and the leader decides to restart on the outside line. So Tristan De Silva in that Gibbs Action Sports 001. Big night for him with his supporters in the stands tonight. And how about we do this as they come back to the green flag. Oh, wait a minute. Dave Hunsinger's throwing the yellow out, so we'll wait on this quick fire it up.
Debris at the entry to turn 1.
So that will slow things up here for at least another lap, and then we'll get at it.
Clinton Jeffrey, did you happen to get the answer to our Curtis Friesen question? If not, I think he's parked on the go-kart track out back. I'm still curious what year it was that he won that Sportsman Tour race and had it stripped away.
So he messaged me back at him. It was 2008.
Okay,
so 14 years ago.
Yep. And that was just as a new tech director was taking over and kind of making a statement. It was a real bummer, though.
All right, we'll try it again with a quick fire it up for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Jeff Elsliger and Eric York collected there. The pinball comes to a stop as well.
Fabio Oliveri had a piece of that as well, as that all started up there in turn number 2. That's why you should always run a black colored nose on your race car and hide the evidence. Kutu in the 4 machine has come to a stop. We're up there in turn 4.
And he's going to need to hook that right front down or leaning over. Let's see a replay.
All the way to the right of the screen, Elsliger kind of wiggled up the track. Fabio kind of held his line where he was going. See if you can show us that shot again, Spencer. So at the very right is the 11 car is about to spin out, and he had gotten up the track and a little bit squirrely. Tough decision at that point if you're Oliveri. If you slow down, you're in the wreck. If you speed up, there is a wreck.
Set down trackside, Clinton Jeffrey.
Yeah, guys, we're sitting here with Jason Coutu, and you can see he's got major problems. You can see all the bolts are still on here, a slight dent, but the problem is the whole hub is gone. It's ripped right off the right side, so he's going to need a hook here on this 4 car, and major front end damage here to the Coutu 4.
Clint, is he relation to Ken Coutu, the spotter in the Pinty series?
Jay says no.
No. I thought I saw Ken here in the grandstands tonight, but I could be mistaken. Let's take a quick break on G-Force TV, and when we come back, it'll be the conclusion of the mini stock feature event. We've still got Race of Champions Sportsman and the Strickland's Crate Sprint Cars.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty 100.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Still under caution here at Ohsweken Speedway on G-Force TV. I'm Greg Kellnan, with me Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. Clint?
Yeah, guys, they're just struggling here to get this right front. It's being held up by the brake line, and that's it. And if they tow it away, it's going to rip all that off too. So the safety crew here grabbing a ratchet strap, they're going to try and tie this right front up here for Coutu to prevent more damage to his SOS towing machine.
So it looks like Jeff Elslinger getting his spot back there in the 6th position. It's being determined that the caution came out for Coutu in turn 4, not for the Elslinger spin. So the Elslinger spin happened after the yellow flag came out. So he gets his spot back there in the 3rd row alongside Wade Thorne.
At some point tonight, Spencer, if we could get those photos, Steve Conway's built a pretty cool simulator, and we want to show the fans on G-Force TV this setup that he's got. So if you can get those queued up, the next time we have a break, we'll have a look at those. Pretty impressive what he has built. As Coutu's car now moving down the front stretch. Chucky survived. The car didn't.
No kidding. How come you get your request granted, but I didn't? They showed the moon earlier on, and I wanted to see Uranus and didn't get that, but you're going to get to see Stephen Conway's racing rig. But I don't think Uranus is the one that's next to the moon tonight. I think it's Saturn or something.
In other news, Ken McClellan won tonight's 50-50 draw, $1,296. Congratulations, Ken.
Or is it Mercury?
That's a segue.
That was an escape. You couldn't wait to get out of that one.
Omaha.
Omaha, yeah. White flag is out. We'll go back to it next time around. Jason Tolton, Jeremy Hughes.
Nick Erskine's having a good run. He's up there in the 12th spot, which doesn't sound super impressive, except that he came out of the Consi. He's making some passes out there. Trying to break into the top 10, running just behind La Fantasy in the 96.
8 laps left to go in this one. Jeremy Hughes looking to go back to victory lane as a mini stock driver. It's been a long time since he's done that. Jason Tolton right beside him as they go door to door down the backstretch.
Jason Tolton has moments where it looks like that one car is shot out of a cannon. Then I'll have other moments where the car's a bit of a handful. We're halfway through this one, 8 laps down, 7 laps to go.
At the line, Jeremy Hughes leads the lap by the slightest advantage as we have Steve Miller going through the infield. Whoa, don't take out victory lane.
Jeff Elslinger into the backstretch walls. See the dust come up there from the 11E as he battles alongside Tim DeBoer in the 9 machine right behind Tristan De Silva.
Mike Sarantakos will head off track in the 6 axis. Tolton edges head off of corner number 2. Hughes to his outside. Here comes Tyler LaFantasy up into the top 3, at least side by side with Wade Thorne to the outside of them as Dusty DeBoer trying to hold on.
A little bit of contact between Jason Tolton and Jeremy Hughes. Hughes leads at the stripe with 5 laps to go, but they're still side by side for the lead with LaFantasy trying to sneak in to make it a 3-car battle for the first place.
Jeremy Hughes looking for career win number 10 in the mini stocks. For Jason Tolton, he's looking for career win number 3. And for Tyler LaFantasy, he's looking for win number 6 on the season.
But don't count out Dusty DeBoer or Wade Thorne. Look at that battle up there. 5 cars right together racing for the top. It'll be 3 laps to go.
Oh, Hughes, Tolton, 3 cars behind them. This is going to be a 5-wide finish at the line, I think, for the checkered flag. 3 laps left. It's anyone's race at this point. LaFantasy on the bottom now edges ahead.
LaFantasy down low, Jeremy Hughes up high, Jason Tolton all over the back bumper of the 10 machine. Here goes Wade Thorne to the inside in the number 4.
Oh, he sent it in deep, gets into Hughes, as gathers it up now into Tolton. Good hard racing at the front right now with 2 laps left to go, and it's LaFantasy out in front. Thorne and Tolton continue to be side by side and beating and banging.
Wade Thorne struggling to keep the front end under control on that 4. He goes down into the turn, the front end washes up and inevitably makes contact with somebody beside him. White flag is out.
Oh, Dusty DeBoer close to the wall there as well, as it's LaFantasy out in front. Hughes, oh, De Silva almost went around.
Jeff Elslinger contact with De Silva. That's going to cost him. Tristan De Silva's car is broke. He's going to lose spots, but how many? Checkered flag is out. LaFantasy going to take the win. 2nd to Hughes, 3rd to Tolton.
Wow. So many drivers with a chance to pick up their first win in a long while. And then Tyler LaFantasy sneaks up at the end and takes it again. 6 wins on the year for the point leader. Jason Tolton, Jeremy Hughes, the top 3.
And I said it earlier, it's not about the blazing speed of the 96. It's just position and circumstance. Like, there were 6 cars that could have won that race, but this is the year when Tyler LaFantasy is going to take most of the wins. Like, when opportunity is nearby, he's Johnny on the spot.
So top 3 will head down to quick victory lane and talk with our Clinton Jeffrey here in just a moment. Look how close it was for that 2nd spot. Jeremy Hughes edges out Jason Tolton. Still 2 features to come. The ROC Sportsman up next with their 30-lap main event, and then the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Cars with their main event still to come as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky for our top 3 here tonight. Let's send it down trackside to quick victory lane. Clinton Jeffrey will talk to the top 3.
For the 6th time here in 2022, Tyler LaFantasy will get out of the 96 car and celebrate a feature win here in quick fire starter victory lane. Been quick. Obviously the point leader with the success they've had didn't plan to start the season here, but he ain't leaving now. As Lone Wolf Fireworks gets it done for us here. Well, Tyler, I don't think that was your race to win, but when all 5 of them got together there, you kind of squeaked to the bottom and took it away. But you won a couple like that. They say you just got to be there at the end for the shot, and you're there every week, man.
Yeah, there was a fast groove on the bottom, and they were battling it out so hard. I just, like you said, kind of snuck my way through there. But I want to give this one out to Doug Leonard. I know it's an important night for him tonight. I know I'm not street stock, but I still support them, and they do a lot for us, so thanks.
It's a classy move, Tyler. I'm sure that Doug will appreciate it. Well, Jeremy, you're going for a win. I think it was 10 or 11, Greg said, and you're close, man, but something didn't look right on this car. You nearly lost it a few times in 3 and 4. Is the car okay, or were you just pushing too hard?
Just pushing too hard. I got into the cushion. It's pretty wicked up there in 3, and it just turned the car We were getting there, but Tyler's just so fast on the bottom. We had to run the top and had to do what we did.
Second place, not bad.
Yeah, it's awesome. We've had such a bad year. Engine issues, just tons of problems. So this is awesome. I'm really happy.
Right on. Jeremy Hughes will finish second. We'll get over here and talk to third. Well, Jason, you've been fighting this game. One of the big supporters here in social, and you do a lot for the Speedway. Good to see you get here to the concrete. You were really close to grabbing that one away from Jeremy at the end of that one, man. A big smile because you're in this battle tonight solidly tonight, Jay.
Yeah, it's been a tough struggle the last few weeks. I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time and getting caught up in stuff that I really shouldn't have been. But I'm happy to be here. Had a great run with Jeremy. That was awesome. That Tyler is just, he's sneaky, man. He just snuck up in there. We were having a good battle, and he just tried to steal the show on us. So it was fun, though. We had a lot of fun.
Right on. Jason Toltenby third here. Your second place car, Jeremy Hughes. And your winner tonight, Tyler DeFontacy, once again the point leader. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV with the Race of Champions Sportsman coming up next.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Back live and ready to go with the ROC Sportsman. 30 laps the distance for them, and this is how they'll line up. Starting on the pole out of Wainfleet, car 15. That'll be Adam Leslie. To his outside from St. Catharines, the 8S, it's Justin Sharp. Back in row number 2 on the inside, also from St. Catharines, the 17C, Jordan Costco. And another St. Catharines driver alongside him, the mongrel, Jay Mallory, in car number 20. Starting in 5th from Port Robinson, the 108, that's Bill Bleach. And to his outside from St. Catharines, the 7 of Cody McPherson. Going 7th, it's Daryl Fairway from Hamilton, the 53, and Brad Rouse will go from the 8th spot. He's from Fort Erie in the 18R. Taylor Vanderzanden from Fenwick in the 74 starts 9th, and James Michael Friesen from St. Catharines starts 10th in the 72. Going 11th is Nelson Mason from Niagara Falls in the 35. To his outside, Terry Smith out of Chippewa in the 22 will start 12th. 13th spot is where we find Curtis Friesen from St. Catharines in the 68. And alongside him, also from St. Catharines, the 28 of Mitch Dumont. Going off 15th out of Merlin, Ontario, the 21, that is Spencer Smolders. And from the 16th spot, Cameron Lane from Hamilton, the 24C. Lining up 17th out of Port Colborne, the 21P, Tyler Pacholski. And Mateo Panante from Port Colborne, the 99P Junior, starts 18th. Bill Gill from Fort Erie in the 49, he'll go 19th. And in the 20th spot from Beamsville, the 09, that is Trevor Wright. Back in 21st, in the 23N, that's Nathan Peaty from Ridgeway, Ontario. And alongside him from Thorold in the 13M, that's Daniel McKay. And starting 23rd from Stevensville, the 25 of Chris Hawkins. White flag's out. Next time by, we'll go green flag racing. 30 laps the distance for the Race of Champions Sportsman Series.
So with the redraw in place, Adam Leslie, remember the battle he had with Brad Rouse. He's starting on the pole. Brad Rouse is back in the 8th spot. But some quality competition through this field. Plenty of fast cars as the green flag flies. Adam Leslie in the 15, Justin Sharp in the 8. Bring us to turn 1.
Off they go into the first corner. Adam Leslie pulls out to a couple car length advantage over Justin Sharp. They're 3 deep behind Jordan Costco right now. Bleach was in the middle there for a moment. Mallory working the outside line.
Yeah, Jay Mallory up on the high side. Everybody looking for room to operate out there. Cody McPherson was looking high. Now he's down on the bottom as Bleach shoots the middle between Daryl Fairway and Jay Mallory.
That's the fight right now for the 4th position. Mallory on the outside, Bleach in the middle, Fairway, and now on the bottom side comes Cody McPherson as well in that lucky 7.
Brad Rouse behind them, kind of looking for somewhere to go, but out in front it's all Adam Leslie with 6 car lengths over Justin Sharp in the 8. Jordan Costco in the 17C. Not a lot of experience on this racetrack, but holding his own in the 3rd spot.
Lots of action all the way through the pack in this one right now. At the front, though, it's Adam Leslie. Got a great run in his qualifying heat. Got by Brad Rouse in a good side-by-side battle and took the heat race win and flexing some muscle again here in the Sterling Lubricants number 15.
Whoa, trouble up in turn number 3. I believe that's Terry Smith in the 22. A couple other cars also involved.
Well, they're able to back off each other. The 99 Junior will back out of the 49 without much issue here, and I think they should just be able to drive away. Not sure what's wrong with the 22. I think they need a push up there. But Mateo Panante gives a thumbs up here on the 99 Junior. 49 able to drive away as well. And the 22 going to get a push. I think everybody's going to make it back in, guys.
Always like to see that when you get cars stacked up down there when they can just drive away. Like obviously everybody was able to get woed up. Still awaiting the push for Terry Smith up there in turn number 3, pointed in the wrong direction. And we got one backwards. Cameron Lane up in turn 2. Didn't see that one.
Looks like he'll be able to pull away though. Yeah, I didn't see what happened to him. Terry Smith rolls down the banking.
Push truck gets in behind the 22 of Smith, so we'll see if that car's going to be able to refire or if he's going to take that push all the way back to the pits. It refires. You know, it's interesting to me, by comparison to Merrittville and Humberstone, the 2 tracks where these cars race on a regular basis, there's a lot more room here at Ohsweken Speedway, but still, when they get into the corners, there's spots where they're all racing for that same piece of real estate. So Adam Leslie, the point car in the 15, Justin Sharp up on the high side, running in the 2nd spot. Green flag is out once again. 26 laps still to come.
Off they go back into corner number 1. Sharp upstairs. He's got McPherson and Costco right behind him. Bleach up at the top 5. They're 3 wide behind that. Mallory on the outside of that. Brad Rouse trying to fight his way through the field.
Yeah, Brad Rouse was working his way through, but there was just nowhere for him to go. They were stacked up double wide in front of him. Now he's going to try working right around the inside of the racetrack as Curtis Friesen, I believe, is the car that has gone around up there in turn 1.
So that puts us back under the caution. 5 on the board, 25 to go.
James Michael Friesen is off the pace as well on that 72. Not sure what's wrong with the 72 machine, but Curtis Friesen going to refire.
You talked earlier on, Adam, about Jay Mallory being the most experienced driver here at the Speedway. He is the all-time winningest driver. Take a guess how many wins.
How many wins? The Speedway opened in '96, and Sportsman cars ran here regularly for... I'll bet you he's got 22 wins.
That was a good guess. 29.
Wow.
29. Next closest, Rob Pitts, 22. Next closest in this field, Brad Rouse with 5. So Jay Mallory knows the Big O, and he's seen it change over the years.
Yeah, always supported this racetrack. I mean, it always had good support from the Sportsman division. It just the track. Clinton, what's going on down there in turn 4?
Jimmy, here's your push quickly. What's up with the 72?
We had a hard wreck last Saturday, and I think maybe we didn't catch all the damage. I blew a drive shaft, a U-joint or something. I don't know. Something in the drive line.
Thanks, Jimmy, for your time. Problems, guys. Residual damages you heard from last week's wreck at Merrittville. They got into a bad wreck with the Greg Penante 99P. Chris Hawkins was also in it as well. He had to do a bunch of work to get his car back here tonight. And good to see them all out here. Tough break for the 72.
Yeah, I'm surprised Greg Penante isn't racing here tonight, Clint.
Well, they wrecked so bad at Merrittville last week.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're still out. And they're in the points at Merrittville, so probably trying to get recovered for that instead of here just a one-off race.
So the white flag displayed, and we'll go back at it next time around. I was just looking at some more history. I find it interesting, Adam. I know some people probably don't, but Cody McPherson, he's got 8 wins here, but they're in the Thunderstocks. Remember back when he was so dominant in the Thunderstock division was Cody?
Driving for the late, great Mike Grant back then. And, you know, for all you sprint car fans who only found our speed last few years, this is what we made this speedway on. First 15 years, it was Sportsman.
This was the premier division every Friday night.
Here we go, back to the green flag. 5 on the board, 25 to go. Adam Leslie, Justin Sharp as they headed down into corner number 1.
Justin Sharp giving a good battle side by side with the race leader, Adam Leslie. Cody McPherson right behind in that number 7. He's been on a real hot streak.
Leslie down to the inside. He's got Cody McPherson behind him. Sharp running that outside line in the Blue Moon Potatoes number 8S. Look at him send it out to the wall off of 4. Can he get the lead at the line? Oh, yeah, he's got it. And actually led last lap by the look of the scoreboard.
By a whopping 8/1000ths of a second, Justin Sharp leads the way, but Adam Leslie still working the bottom groove in that number 15, and Cody McPherson, for the time being, biding his time right now in that number 7.
Upstairs is where it's been so far here tonight, it seems, except for in the mini stock for Tyler LaFantasy. Got it done on the bottom, but Justin Ramsey sailed it around the outside of the wind of the Brock Leonard, and here comes Sharp. He is smoking on the outside in that Blue Moon Potatoes 8S.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and Clinton, you might have to chime in on this. Justin Sharp doesn't win a lot of races. He's quick. He's a perennial 5th place car, but I don't think he takes a whole lot of checkered flags.
You know, Justin's really picked up his game this past season and a half or so. Every night he's on the track, he has been a contender. Good to see him up front here tonight. Got his young daughter Adeline here cheering Dad on.
Yeah, again, I mean, no disrespect to him. He's a good racer. There's just always somebody who's a bit more dominant. I mean, Brad, when you race with Brad Rouse just about every night, he's going to take a lot of wins as well. Sharp continues to lead the way, but it's basically side by side every lap at the stripe.
This kind of reminds me of the heat race earlier on with Adam Leslie and Brad Rouse. They went side by side, similar lanes.
Chris Hawkins, he was moving his way through the field a little bit in that 25 machine. He peels it down to the infield. His night is done.
Well, guys, remember, he was also involved in the heavy wreck that's keeping Penante out of it, and that caused James Michael Friesen problems. Hawkins had a big piece of that one at Merrittville. Surprised he's even back. He had to thrash all day just to get back here. And look at the thrash at the front of this one. Leslie, Sharp, and McPherson going at it.
I think Cody McPherson has been content to run where he is as Adam Leslie using that slower car as a pick. Justin Sharp having nothing to do with it. He wedges it down in there, but that's going to allow Leslie to lead this lap at the line. Cody McPherson has been very patient so far this race.
That was a slick move by Justin Sharp there. He could have easily backpedaled out of that, but he just threw her in.
I think he caught him on the way by just ever so slightly, so we'll watch if something happens to the 8 car. I'm sure there was contact there, guys.
I agree with you, Clinton. There was a little bit of rubbing going on as they went down into the corner, but now that Adam Leslie is clear, Justin Sharp seems to be dropping back just a little bit. Now Cody McPherson getting the advantage over Sharp. He'll set his sights on Adam Leslie, but right now they're running the same line.
McPherson now to the outside. in that second spot, trying to get by Leslie. He gets a good run through that second corner. They're wheel to wheel down the backstretch into 3.
McPherson clears Leslie, then goes right down to the bottom of the racetrack to try to close the door. The 7 of McPherson going to lead that lap.
17 laps on the board in this one. 13 still left to go. For the Race of Champions Sportsman Series, it's McPherson, Leslie, Sharp, and then you've got Fairway back there in 4th and Bleach running in 5th.
Cody McPherson heads to the outside to go around Mateo Panante in the 99. Adam Leslie, I think, had hopes that he could make the bottom work, but wow, as he went to the outside, Leslie looked to be making some nice speed up there on the top.
Leader works off the bottom of corner number 4 and pulls away from Adam Leslie and Justin Sharp. Got it hooked up and gone, and I think you were right, Adam. He was watching that battle between Adam and Justin Sharp, was content to just kind of ride there, but when he got to those two and found the opening, it was time to take off.
So Cody McPherson opening up an advantage right now. There is more lap traffic ahead of them. If this race stays green, McPherson's going to have to deal with about 5 or 6 more slower cars. As Justin Sharp closing back in on Adam Leslie to battle for the 2nd spot.
21 laps on the board, 9 to go here for the Race of Champions Sportsman Series. Sharp and Leslie continue to go at it, and there's that same lap car of Bill Gill, as this time Sharp will have to change lanes, goes back up top, and these two have just been side by side, lap after lap.
Fantastic racing between Adam Leslie, the Sterling Lubricants number 15, and Justin Sharp, longtime partnership with Blue Moon Potatoes.
A little bit of a change in the top 5. Bill Bleach has gotten by Darryl Fairway, and so is Brad Rouse. So put Brad Rouse into the top 5 for the first time here tonight. He's had some work to do.
And Rouse had to drop the anchor. He just about drove right through Bill Gill in that 49. I don't think he was expecting the closing rate to be quite that quick.
Leader works off of corner number 4 another time. Lap traffic right in front as Justin Sharp now gets by Adam Leslie for the 2nd spot. Oh, they wad them up off it too, right in front of Leslie and Sharp.
Tyler Pachalski, I'm not sure what the deal was there, if he was angry, but he squared up. Who was it? The 35 machine of Nelson Mason.
I think is that Mason or is that Van der Zanden? No, it's Van der Zanden, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the 74. Similar paint schemes, but it's
looks like they're looking for the hook for Smolder's 21 machine.
Well, guys, you can see all the damage here on the Spencer Smolders 21. He has taken the shock tower right off, so this part should be up here and is broken right off. You can see front end destroyed, all kinds of damage here. Front axle tore out. We've seen Spencer Smolders, run some good events here. Jack, you stay there. I'll get over here and talk to Spencer. Spencer, we've seen you come out of the go-kart ranks. You ran really good in your Thunderstock. Now getting your feet wet here in the Sportsman. What happened here in turn 2?
I don't know. The guys in front of me, I guess, came to a dead stop coming off the corner. I don't know if there's something in front of the 22 there, but I couldn't get woed up in time, and looks like I'm tore up pretty bad.
You definitely are. You're okay, though?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, Clinton.
Spencer Smolders, they run Route 1 Raceway, go-kart track down near the Chatham area, and we wish them all the best. They're going to have a lot of work to get this one back together if they're going to race Maryville tomorrow night, guys.
Well, I believe that's where our friend Pete Gutler races, Clinton, one of the scorers for the APC series. He's been doing some winning this season as well, and we hear all about it when we go to the APC events.
I saw Gibber got out there too last weekend, I think. So
yeah,
cool.
Gibbs took one of Gutler's carts out and put it on his lid.
Yeah, bad damage here for Smolders. They'll get this one back to the pits and be not a pleasant ride home for them, guys.
No significant hit will close up the front runners. What this will do, it ensures that our race leaders won't have much traffic to deal with. It's only 6 laps to go in this one. Cody McPherson showing blazing speed in that number 7. We were having a great time watching Adam Leslie and Justin Sharp duke it out lap after lap. But McPherson, once he had that opportunity, really showed he was the faster car.
Don't forget Monday night, Burger Barn presents the 17th running of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. $10,000 to the winner for the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Tour, plus the Action Sprint Tour, the Quick Wick NASCAR Pinty Series Hot Lap Challenge. And then on Tuesday night, Pinty's Delicious Foods presents the $25,000 to win Pinty's 100 for the NASCAR Pinty Series, plus the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprints and the Action Sprint Tour. NPSondirt.com for tickets and camping, or OhswekenSpeedway.com as well. And then we'll be off next Friday night, so a little bit of a break next Friday, and then we'll be right back at it on Friday, August the 26th, where it will be the biggest race of the year for the mini stocks, the Art Hill Memorial. And it's a duel on the dirt combined race brought to you by Instapanels. It's also a late model open, so we'll have the opens and the crates here for the late models. Thunderstocks 360 sprints and the crate sprints will be off on Friday, August 26th. As we get ready to come back to the green, let's do a quick wick. Fire it up for the ROC Sportsman. Cody McPherson out in front. Once he got there, it was checkout time for him, as he's used to doing in these Sportsman machines. It's Sharp in second now. Bleach putting the pressure on Leslie for a podium finish.
Yeah, Bleach really leaning on that cushion, getting a great drive off the outside. He'll take the 3rd spot from Adam Leslie with 3 laps to go.
Look how good Cody McPherson is pulling off the corners. Just so smooth, steady, straight launch as he rolls down along the wall there and then just straight off towards the line. Sharp's got a good running car right now, but 2 laps to go, running out of time to show anything to Cody McPherson.
Sharp's trying to get up there on the cushion and close that gap, but like you say, Cody McPherson just so smooth. Bill Bleach just about tagged the outside wall there off of turn number 2.
White flag goes up in the air for the ROC Sportsman. McPherson, Sharp, Bleach, Leslie, and Jay Mallory now has worked his way into the top 5.
Adam Leslie right down against the concrete on the inside. He's got a good run up off of turn number 2. It's going to be Cody McPherson. Justin Sharp going to come home second. Who's going to take third? It's Bill Bleach in the 108 with Adam Leslie 4th and Jay Mallory rounding out the top 5.
Jordan Costco right back there in the 6th spot. Then it was Darrell Fairway, Trevor Wright, Brad Rouse, and Nelson Mason, I believe, completing the top 10 for the Race of Champions Sportsman Tour. Cody McPherson, once he got by Adam Leslie and Justin Sharp, he was gone, and so smooth is the driver of the Lucky 7. He'll go down and talk to Clinton Jeffrey down in Quick Wick Victory Lane, along with Sharp and Bleach. Still one feature to come, the crate sprints. See them over there on the micro sprint track getting ready to be pushed off for their 20-lap main event tonight, as the top 3 for the Race of Champions Sportsmen head down onto the concrete pad. Quick Wick Victory Lane with the fireworks from Lone Wolf Fireworks over on Highway 54 in Middleport. If you need some fireworks for your next celebration, check them out. Lone Wolf Fireworks, the official firework provider of the Big O as Cody McPherson will get unbuckled. He's got 8 wins in the Thunderstocks here, and now he's got a Sportsman win. We'll have to check if it's his first or not here, but nonetheless, he's in victory lane, and we'll send it down to Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, you mentioned, Greg, 8 Thunderstock feature wins here. This is his first ever Sportsman win here, and that seems ludicrous to me for all the races Cody's won over the years, that he could never pick one up here at the Big O. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for Cody McPherson? The lucky 7 picks up another one in his storied career, but his first here at Ohsweken. Cody, good drive here tonight. You know, you've been here to Quick Victory Lane in the past, but never here in this Sportsman division. I was just saying, crazy to think you won all those races, but never won here.
Yeah, you know, we've been close, just never could get it done. And, yeah, I was a little emotional on the drive up because I was telling Rick, he was driving with me, I'm like, it used to be just me and Mikey Grant driving up here Friday nights. And, yeah, it's just the 2 of us, and that's where, you know, we got to talk a lot. And we really miss Mikey and wish he could be here with us. But, yeah, it's glad that I could get a win for him.
Amazing, Cody. You know, I can only imagine the stories a guy like Mike would tell you. How old would you have been back there? Mike would have been probably closing in his 60s, right? How would you have been, like 15?
Yeah, I was 14, turned 15 that year. Like I was telling Rick, it was either me and Mikey or me, Mikey, and Brian Stevens. I was in the middle of those 2 guys. Just listened to stories the whole way up, and it was great. Awesome,
Cody. I remember when you guys were younger, your dad used to say they can men, they can have a beer with the men. Cody gets it done. Let's talk to Sharpie, Justin Sharp. Sharp, you had a good run here today, man. You were in this battle all night long. You know, Cody's been the class of the field around lately, but this Bloomin' Potatoes Sharp Auto Service Team Max Bar and Grill 8S ran real good tonight.
Yeah, we've had her going the last couple weeks. It's just hard to beat that 7 car. The cushion was a little gnarly, got me pushing the front nose, and I lost the lead in lap traffic there, but that's no excuse. Cody's just a lot better than all of us right now, and we just have to do our homework.
Right on. Justin Sharp grabs second. We'll make our way over here and grab our 3rd place. I'm going to jump in front of you, Peter. I thought you waited there. Billy, welcome back, man. You won a few races here over the years, and solid run here whenever you can end up on the concrete in a Sportsman car.
First ever time here in the Sportsman, so yeah, we're super pumped with that. We've finally slowly getting this thing figured out, so super pleased with that finish.
Right on. Bill Bleach will be 3rd. 2nd place, Justin Sharp, and your winner here tonight, it will be Cody McPherson. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV. We got one feature event to go. It's the Strickland Brantford GM Crate Sprints coming up to close out the program.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty 100.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it in the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
Last feature on deck here at Ohsweken Speedway on GeForce TV. I'm Greg Kilnan, with me Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. The Strickland Brantford Chevrolet crate sprints ready to go, 20 laps. The distance. Adam Ross has the starting lineup.
Here's how they'll roll away on the pole from Mississauga in the 3RS. It's the highlight man, Mac DeMann. Alongside him in the 49L from Brantford, it's Lucas Smith. Starting third, the 4 from St. Thomas, Jesse Costa. Starting fourth from Wainfleet, the BS39, Brett Stratford. Rolling off fifth from Freelton, the 12 Double D is Darren Dryden. And starting sixth in the 7W, he's from London, Caleb Wood. Starting 7th from Thamesford, the 7 is Eric Gledhill. Starting 8th out of Waterloo, the 19D is Alan Downey. Starting 9th from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. And on the outside of row 5, the 24A from Stony Creek, AJ Lewis. Starting 11th, the 2M from Georgetown, it's Steve Murdoch. Starting 12th from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. Starting 13th from Port Colborne, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. Starting 14th from Woodstock, the 29W is Tyler Ward. Starting 15th from Ohsweken, the 99 is Joshua Hill. Starting 16th from Ohsweken, the 9C is Brian Nanakoke. Starting 17th from Ohsweken, the 77T is Tyler Powlis. And starting 18th from Six Nations, the 38 is Derek Miller. Starting 19th in the 16R, he's from Port Colborne, it's Seth Roy. Starting 20th, the 74 from Rockwood, it's Rob Neely. 21st from Listowel, the 97 is Sheldon Bender. Starting 22nd from Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. 23rd from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. 24th from Kitchener, the 2 is Travis Hofstetter. 25th from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. Starting 26th from Hagersville, the 14T is Noel Teal. Starting 27th from Ohsweken, the 28 is Jordan Hill. And rounding out the field from Six Nations, the 20 is Johnny Miller, the Iceman. Greg, why is it that some of these drivers have Ohsweken as their hometown and some of them have Six Nations as their hometown? Any idea?
Not a clue.
Clinton Jeffrey. He might be in the back.
Sorry, what was that, Adam?
Well, a lot of the drivers are listed from Ohsweken, but a lot of drivers are listed from Six Nations. I'm wondering if there's a difference or if it's just how they fill out their registration.
If I had to guess, and I don't want to be totally silly about it, but I believe if you live right here in Ohsweken, you're considered Ohsweken. If you live in the outlying territories, you could be from Six Nations, but we'll confirm.
Just one of the things that pops into my mind.
Mac DeMann, Lucas Smith ready to go here. Final feature of the night. 20 laps the distance for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet crate sprint cars.
Mac DeMann showing his experience on that start. Lucas Smith had rolled around the high side just a little bit. DeMann held back and then jumped on the loud pedal. Got off to a great start in that 3 machine, but he's got some hot shoes right there. Lucas Smith, Jesse Costa, plenty of business at the front.
All sorts of racing throughout the pack. Whoa, 4 wide through the second corner. Eric Gledhill gets by Brett Stratford. Meanwhile, Caleb Wood working the outside. Darren Dryden right behind them. Some good racing action just outside of the top 5.
If I had to guess, that Sportsman feature used up a lot of good clay on the inside of the corners. Brett Stratford's really having a problem with the 39 getting hooked up. Darren Dryden, however, is able to make those moves, but he is cheating right along the edge of the concrete. That's dangerous territory.
The highlight man, Mac DeMann, driving in the 3S tonight, usually driven by Austin Rose. As we got Lucas Smith in his tire tracks, as is Jesse Costa, Caleb Wood, and Eric Gledhill. All the top 5 right now running right around the top.
77E Van Every down on the inside of the racetrack. Looks like his night is done as he will come to rest on the inside of turn 1 and 2, but he's out of harm's way. We stay under green as McDeman has approached slower traffic. Look at the closing rate of Lucas Smith.
Smith now working the bottom side of the inside of Jordan Hill, keeping pace with the leader, Jesse Costa, as well. He's on that outside. Hill charged around the outside of Lucas Smith off of corner 4. He'll take second away.
McDeman loves keeping the car wound up on the outside. Now he's having to pedal down low. He's stuck between Sheldon Bender and Noel Teal on the 14. He'll thread the needle between those two. Jumps over the cushion in turn number 4. Here comes Jesse Costa and Lucas Smith.
Wow, that was interesting off of corner number 4, to say the least. McDeman's got the lap traffic between he and this battle between Smith and Costa. Smith threads the needle through corner number 3.
You know, if there's an aggressive move that needs to be made, Lucas Smith has no hesitation in making it. McDeman, he's in a bit of a spot here as he gets squirrely off of turn number 2. Here comes Lucas Smith driving to the inside of a race leader, McDeman.
Here comes Smith to the inside of McDeman, wheel to wheel at the line. At the line it is McDeman just barely over Lucas Smith. Smith slides up the banking nearly into McDeman.
I believe there might have been contact out there as Caleb Wood hops the cushion in turn number 2. Look at these two dicing it out in lap traffic. McDeman having to lift, I think, to get up behind Travis Hofstetter. Hofstetter got sideways.
He'll go in to corners 1 and 2 and try and get by, but it doesn't work yet again. Smith is right there. They are having fits trying to get through this lap traffic. He'll slide up in front of Hofstetter. Smith tries to follow, and here comes Jesse Costa to the inside of Smith.
3 wide down into turn number 1. Trouble on the back straightaway. Josh Hill goes for a long slide down the inside of the racetrack. Whoa, and we've got Darren Dryden, I believe, in the 12 double D. I had not mentioned this.
Yeah, I was thinking it too.
That is the first sprint car we've had upside down in how many weeks? Safety crew is on the scene immediately to tend to the Darren Dryden 12 double D. Clinton Jeffrey making his way over to the scene. Darren Dryden quickly working his way out of that race car.
Yeah, he's out. Unhappy, but he's out, ladies and gentlemen, walking around under his own power. How about it for Darren Dryden? And this car is disaster down here.
Well, the wing is crumpled down on it, Clinton. What does the front end look like? Like it's spectacular looking, but a crushed wing does make up a lot of that. The car's sitting up on all 4 wheels.
Yeah, the front end looks all right at him, but the right rear is definitely dragging. The frame rail is dragging on the ground. He tore out the right rear suspension of the car. We'll bring Jack around here to give us a look at it, but Big Red's moving in. But yeah, the right rear is dragging on the ground here. We'll see if we can maybe get in and get a word with Darren as he walks around frustratedly, and we'll see if he wants to chat.
And just cut us off if you get that chance, Clinton. I don't really believe in an announcer's curse, Greg, but I had not mentioned the fact on the air very much that we haven't had a sprint car crash in weeks. What was the last one?
The last one that comes to my mind was Tyler Ward and Keegan Baker on the front stretch during the heats, I think it was. And that wasn't a rollover, but it was a
wreck.
I got him here, guys.
Wreck.
I know, Darren, we appreciate you taking the time. We know you just want to get back to the pits, but what happened here in turn 2, and are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, but definitely not happy with that. He saw me, and he didn't want to give me any room. It's simple as that. I don't know why there wasn't any respect there. I thought he definitely saw me. End of story. I hate it for the team. Absolutely hate it for the team.
Thanks, Darren Dryden. He's been fast. 4 feature wins this year. He will not end up in quick victory lane tonight, though, guys.
You got to ask him who he is.
Yeah, I didn't want to put him on. Maybe we'll see.
He was, looking at the running order. There's Dryden, Jacob Dykstra's around there, Eric Gledhill. I don't think they were up to Jesse Costa.
He says it was the 4.
Okay. There you go. You got to ask those hard-hitting questions.
It says the guy that's how far away.
Yeah, that's right. I just like poking the bear. from the other side of the cage.
Darren was so upset he was vibrating. I didn't want to get right in there.
No,
but,
for sure. Our drivers do such a good job with the fact that the microphone gets.
Well, if they're being respectful, we're going to let them be respectful, I think, you know?
For sure.
But you're right. This is a spectacular looking. When you crumple one of these top wings, it looks pretty wild. Most of the car does look good, though, Adam. They are going to have to do some adjustments and repairs to the right rear suspension, but on that, it should be all right.
Pretty quick turnaround. They got a few days to make repairs and be back for a big show.
And he knows an excellent vinyl guy, so Darren Dryden has such a nice-looking car, and he puts so much effort into all that he does. Of course, owner of DJD Graphics, and it's hard to miss that car on the racetrack, and he's going to be busy getting that one back, looking great, and I'm sure he will. So we're going to take a quick break while they clean up the wreck on the backstretch. We'll be back here on G-Force TV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Cars rolling as slowly the field gets pushed back off. Darren Dryden's car has been returned to the pit area, and we'll get back to the green flag with 10 laps left to go in our final feature of the night here for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Greg Kellman along with Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey down in the infield covering all the action.
So an explanation I got over Snapchat. So Raising the Bar not only feeds me healthy food on Fridays really, really well, but also telling me there's no difference between Six Nations Reserve and Ohsweken. It's how people fill out the form. The entirety is the Six Nations Reserve, but the mailing address says Ohsweken.
There you go.
If you can't be smart, at least have smart friends.
Never see Josh Hill. He's going to have the best seat in the house here.
You can't do the wing dance if you didn't win. And where did he have his phone? Or is that a GoPro?
That's a GoPro, I think. Hey, why not? You're going to end up in the infield. Get some footage.
Well, he's the Friday Night Thunder featured driver. You know, if you can't bring us good footage for the race, you got to bring us good footage from the race, you know? And you know why we hang around Adam, right? Because he needs smart friends, Greg.
Is that it?
Wow. Is that the role you fill?
I don't know anymore. I don't even know if I'm still alive half these days. Wednesday can't come fast enough.
I do like to keep the bar set pretty low. Derek Miller and the TrueNorth.bet Nitro 54 sponsored machine about to get pushed off at the start finish line, Clint.
Props for Ashton Van Every. He's been struggling a bit tonight in the 77E. They've told him if it cannot fire, pull it to the infield, and that's what he's done here in turn 3 and 4. 77E will not finish this one.
So Spencer was able to get these sim photo picture from Steve Conway. This is his Ohsweken-inspired sim racing unit that he has built. He's even got the blue lighting going on this thing. He's got some old Mikey Krutchka nose wing panels built into the side. He's got the flag in the background. He's got everything going there.
And one big curved monitor. How long do you figure that is?
I don't know, but 49 inches. That is, I mean, I could spend the entire day just sitting there, and even if you're not even iRacing, just sitting there and watching something. That's a fantastic setup. Thanks for sharing, Steve.
I haven't done any iRacing in quite a while. Connor does most of the iRacing in our house these days.
Yeah, same here. McLean is using my account, abusing my account. There's so many new tracks now that I want to try. Port Royal is now on.
Yeah, I own every one of them.
Oh, do you?
Thanks to Daddy's money. Oh, look, a credit card bill. One to go at the stripe, 10 laps in, 10 laps to go. It has been a wild one. Single file restart, so it's not going to be long before they're into some slower traffic out there, but Mac DeMann out in front. I mean, really, are there two more exciting drivers than Mac DeMann and Lucas Smith?
I was just sitting here thinking, Lucas Smith, no matter what week it is, he is by far the most entertaining driver to watch out there. And then you had 360 regular, the highlight man out in front. So let's see what they do here in the final 10 laps. Jesse Costa right there with him, and Jacob Dykstra, he's fun to watch as well.
Up to the outside goes Mac DeMann, Lucas Smith, Jacob Dykstra working the inside underneath Jesse Costa. They work into 3 and 4. Oh, slides up in front of Jesse Costa. Costa has to bite the brakes there in that 4 machine. Let's see if he hasn't answered.
Here comes Eric Gledhill now trying to challenge on his teammate in that 4 machine, the 2 Oakwood Transport machines. Oh, Eric Gledhill caught a rut or a bump up there, and boy, he went for a ride, but gathers it back up. He's got Caleb Wood and Brett Stratford right there with him now.
How about Caleb Wood out there in that 7 machine? Not a lot of laps in a crate sprint car, certainly not this season as we are under yellow. It's Tyler Ward, I believe. I can't imagine Jesse Costa's too happy about that slider, and he just did pull up alongside Jacob Dykstra there.
There may be a few hurt feelings after this one tonight. And it's just the first night of 3 here at the Big O in the next few days. These crate teams have got a busy week ahead. On the card both Monday and Tuesday.
And I'm sure thrilled about it. I mean, it's a big, big race event. To be on that card is I mean, we're going to make history Monday and Tuesday, Greg.
We are.
First time
you
ever.
and I escorted out.
Yeah, that could be. They're not going to kick us out.
Tuesday, a bit of a different format. The sprint car divisions will not run heats. They'll have timed hot laps, and that will set the top. I don't have the numbers
16.
in front of me. Is it 16 for each division? And then they'll have last chance races and then into the features so that we have time to be on schedule for the Pinty's 100.
Yeah, and that's the reason why it's a very structured schedule when NASCAR comes to town. So there has to be assurances that you can get in everything you need to get in before the time is up. So Clinton Jeffrey and Doug Leonard put together a pretty impressive schedule, wouldn't you say, Clint?
Yeah, we're quite excited about the new format, Adam, and you know, obviously the NASCAR Pinty Series will be the feature division on that night. But if we can get them on the track early, that's kind of the plan here. So yeah, timed hot laps will determine the top 16 locked-in drivers. We'll take a last chance qualifier, which could have up to 24 to 28 drivers going for those last, whether it be 8 to 12 spots, depending on the division. It should be a wild one.
Yeah, Caleb Wood in that Pinewood number 7 having a great run out there battling with Brett Stratford in the 39. I was excited for Brett Stratford. He started up there in the second row. I thought this is his chance to really lay down a big run. But he was struggling with the setup, not able to run the bottom of the racetrack like he wanted to.
This is the first night we've seen any chunk up on the cushion, guys. It can be pretty gnarly. You get up into the light brown stuff up there. But most of these guys have been handling it well. I'm sure we won't be seeing that Monday, Tuesday, as the sprint cars, both divisions, should be able to polish that off. What a difference we have the track tonight without the 360s, guys. It really has changed things here tonight.
A big difference. I mean, sportsman cars, modified type cars do different things to a racetrack. And like you say, not having those 360s, really the big power and the big right rear tire glazing the track over or smoothing it over. But it's been fun. There's been opportunity for these drivers, different lanes for them to try. We still got a lot of racing left to go. 8 laps to settle this one. McDeman is out in front, but he is under pressure.
Look at these top 3 coming back to the green flag. That's a handful of excitement for you right there. McDeman, Lucas Smith, Jacob Dykstra. Here they go down the back stretch. 1, 2, and 3. Demand's been able to pull away a fair distance on these restarts, and he'll come down and lead with 7 laps to go.
Seth Roy up in turn number 3, goes up over the banking, loses a bunch of spots, brings it back down on the racetrack, and right back into battle. Lucas Smith is doing a hell of a job out there, just dancing with that cushion in 3 and 4.
Oh, there's another. Oh, that is so close at corner number 4. Tyler Powless, I thought was going over.
I don't know how he didn't. Don't know how he didn't. The car bounced a little bit and came to rest.
That's as close as you can get to going over without. Close call there for Tyler Powless. And who is that there with him? Is that Tyler Ward?
I'm not sure.
That is the Seth Roy car, guys.
Oh,
and he's got the nose broken up here. The front end is all out of it, and they're going to need a hook here on the front of this one.
Well, we're going to have a look here from the wall cam.
And one of them had got up and over the cushion. I believe it was Tyler Powless. And when he came back down onto the racetrack, it was right in the path of Seth Roy.
For the Seth Roy car here, they've got problems. The front end is all tore out of it here. They've bent up all these radius rods, and he'll be done here. You can see, guys, all these radius rods are bent up. The front axle's all out of the car. Shock bent up and wrapped around it. That'll be it for the 16R down here of Seth Roy, guys, in the Juniors Riverside bait and tackle machine.
You know, we haven't seen a cushion all season long, Clinton, and this is what results if you don't have the car at the right attitude going into the corner. You hop up over the cushion. It just does ugly things to the cars, and you wind up having to come back into traffic at strange angles. Some people like a big cushion, Clinton, but really, ultimately, I think it's better racing when we don't have it.
Six laps remaining here in our final feature of the night for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Coming into tonight, Lucas Smith, the point leader, by 23 points over Eric Gledhill. Jesse Costa third, Brett Stratford fourth, and Darren Dryden came in fifth, although he had missed a feature. And now with the tough rollover on the backstretch tonight, that will hurt his chances at a championship here even farther in 2022.
And we're getting down towards the tail end of the... I hate to even admit that.
Really only 3 regular nights left, I believe. And the crates have a night off on the 26th next time we're back. and the 9th. So really, guess what? The next race is the championship race for the crate sprints. Hard to believe, because the Monday, Tuesday are Action Sprint Tour events. We're off next Friday. The 26th, the crate sprints are off, and then it's Epic Racewear Championship night.
Guys,
no, those are points nights, Greg.
Yeah, I just want to mention, we do what we call as member points here. So anybody who's not registered, they'll get pulled out of the mix, but they are counting tabulation points for both the Action Sprint Tour and home track points, guys.
Gotcha.
And it's something we changed a few years ago. You know, kind of when I came on as a manager, we just developed this mentality that if they're racing out there, it didn't make any sense to have non-points events, because that's maybe the one night that a Seth Roy or these guys actually knocked down a win, a Brett Stratford, and wouldn't count towards their point total. Every time these guys are risking their lives and their cars and their equipment, we need to pay points.
So for an example, and tell me if I'm wrong, Clinton, if the race ended just like this, Lucas Smith would get winning points.
Correct. So Lucas Smith would get the first place points. If there was another non-member and say third, everybody accordions up and we pull them out. Yeah, so Dykstra would not get points. The leader would not get points. So basically Lucas would get first place points. Costa would get second place points. Stratford third, and so on, if it were to finish as they run right now.
I like it.
So 3 races left then. I was right the first time. I should have just shut up.
6 laps remain. Mac DeMann leading the way in this 3 RS, changing up his starts each and every time, but Lucas Smith got a good launch that time.
6 laps left. Mac DeMann, Lucas Smith, and Jacob Dykstra. Here comes Brett Stratford back into the picture as he slips to the inside of Costa, who caught a bump going into 3.
Side by side, Stratford on the inside, Costa up high. Stratford with that 4 spot at the stripe. Long way to go to catch that top 3 with 4 laps to go. Mac DeMann all by himself out front. Lucas Smith as Jacob Dykstra closing in the battle for second.
Mac DeMann in that Nathan Ackland Racing number 3S filling in for Austin Rose tonight. He is set sail out in front as they come by the flag stand this time. It'll be 3 laps left to go. Smith, though, I thought he had problems there for a moment off of corner 4. He bobbled a bit, and here comes Jacob Dykstra, but he has his own problems in 1 and 2.
There's going to be some traffic for Mac DeMann. He's got to go down the racetrack right in front of him. Sheldon Bender getting all sorts of sideways. 2 laps to go. Here comes Lucas Smith.
Wow, he'll dive bomb down into corner number 1, and he'll glide up the track. Mac DeMann keeps it wound up on the outside. He'll keep the lead down the backstretch. Now he'll dive down low to get by Sheldon Bender.
Lucas Smith could have thrown a deadly slider there, but he didn't. Now trying to pitch it under Sheldon Bender. Jacob Dykstra running out of room. White flag is out one more time around.
Smith gets boxed in behind Noel Teal. Dykstra behind him, and out in front it's the highlight man, Mac DeMann. He'll check out and get the checkered flag. Mac DeMann wins over Lucas Smith, and at the line Jacob Dykstra just barely holds on over Jesse Costa. Eric Gledhill 5th. Brett Stratford finishes 6th. Caleb Wood 7th. A.J. Lewis 8th. 9th. Alan Downey in 10th. Rob Neely.
Well, they did not disappoint. What an exciting run. I can't believe Lucas Smith checked up. And I mean, obviously it was his plan. He drove it down into turn number 1. I thought he was going to slide up the banking, but he kept it down low, trying to get that run off the corner on the bottom. Did not work, but it wasn't for a lack of trying.
Career win 13 for Mac DeMann in the crate sprint car division. He'll pad his lead at the top of the all-time win list over Ryan Hunsinger with 10. As Lone Wolf Fireworks will light up the sky one final time, and we'll get ready to send it down into Quick Wick victory lane. Clinton Jeffrey will catch up with our top 3.
An excited Mac DeMann gets out of Austin Rose 3S here tonight, taking the teammate's car. Gets a handshake from Lucas Smith, who obviously knows it's a good points night for him tonight. And we'll get Mac DeMann up on top. He will get up there and salute you fans. How about it? For the highlight man, Mac DeMann wins the crate sprint car race tonight. We'll get Mac to get his helmet off, have a quick word with us. Jacob Dykstra down here in third place as well. Lucas Smith around the front. Well, Mac, you were the winningest crate driver in the history of the Speedway, and you picked up another one to pad things along a bit further. Just a fun night behind the wheel of your teammate's car?
Yeah, shout out to Austin and his dad for putting me in the car. Austin's on his way to being much smarter and mechanical engineer. He's got a big exam tomorrow. So we just wanted to get a good feel for the car. Austin's been struggling a little bit. Just wanted to get the car dialed for Monday and Tuesday. And track's a little heavier than normal with no 360s, but we got the car in a good spot right now. Just racing up front with these guys is great to have this car up here. I'm sure Austin's pumped to hop in this thing next week. Just happy his dad busts his ass all week for me, not for his own son. I really appreciate that. All the sponsors that support Austin and get him to the track every week. Larry Knott Trucking, Bobcat of Brantford, CarStar Collision, and of course Nathan Ackland. Me and Austin both couldn't be here without him. So yeah, great facility, great track tonight, great racing all around.
Thanks, Mac. Congratulations. Mac DeMan will pad his all-time feature win list. Total? Well, Lucas, you're in that one, man. You're exciting every time we're out there. These guys are talking about the show you're putting on. A few times you nearly stuck it in where you shouldn't have, but you're still here in one piece. A great point tonight is those guys are going to get not the points that you will. Wicked deal.
Yeah, I hope all the fans enjoyed that race because that was the best race I've had in a long time, even though we didn't win it. Congrats to Mac. I felt Dexter there putting on the pressure behind us. And it was just, yeah, I put a couple toes out of line there, and I figured I better back her down a notch. And, you know, these guys aren't in it for the points. We are. We've got to think longer term. And, yeah, let's see what Monday, Tuesday bring.
Right on, Lucas Smith grabs second place here tonight. We'll get over here and talk to Jacob Dykstra. Jacob, solid run for you here. Just dipping in like Mac is to get back to the roots a little bit. What's the story on your ride tonight?
Well, we had a couple issues in the heat race. We started on the front row, went backward. We had a fueling problem. We were running out of fuel. Got it figured out, and sucks that happened in the heat race. We had to start 13th and had to fight through everybody. We were chasing them down. We need a couple more laps, but yeah, this Palos Bros racing car has been on fire this year.
Right on, Jacob Dykstra will finish third tonight. Lucas Smith second. Your winner tonight, Mac DeMan. Now to finish it from Quick Firestarter Victory Lane, guys. Don't forget, everybody, Monday, Tuesday, we are live here for the biggest events in the history of Ohsweken Speedway. Take us home, guys.
So that will wrap things up. Don't forget, GeForce tomorrow night is at Sunset Speedway, and make sure you go to GeForceTV.net to check that one out. All the live action from Sunset. And Adam, have a safe trip tomorrow, and we'll see you back here on Monday night. Great night tonight.
I agree. It sounds good. We'll see everybody Monday, Tuesday. Huge doubleheader. I've been waiting for this all year.
That'll wrap it up from the Big O. On behalf of Clinton, Jeffrey, and Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kellman saying so long. See you back here on Monday night. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.